just jumped into comments. Going on, man? So by the way, we all kind of have our own nicknames on the podcast here. So I usually go by Macho. Sinbad here usually goes by Soul or Jay. It just goes by Walt. So do you want to go by Chet? Do you want to go by Ergon on your Twitter name or? Okay.
All right. Cool.
We'll see how your volumes look on the podcast too. I'll listen back to it and we'll see.
It's a bit low for me, but
yeah,
I can check if it's.
Yeah, you might have to turn that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But yeah, man, it was yeah. So I watched their retrospective of Spider-Man 1, and then after that, there was like another channel that's also doing like a Spider-Man retrospective, and they're on Spider-Man 3 right now, and they completely shit all over that movie, man. That ain't right. That ain't right.
What?
Wait a minute.
So you are sitting on Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is arguably, definitively a better movie than Spider-Man 3.
Bro.
I definitely say it's more concise, and it's more like it focuses a lot more than Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 is all over the place.
It is consensus that The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the worst Spider-Man movie.
It's cap. That's cap.
That is not cap, man.
Dude, you're telling me Topher Grace getting mad at God and becoming Venom is a better storyline than Harry's descent to madness.
Bro, you can ask fucking Jim down the street if Spider-Man 3 is better than The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And what do you think he's gonna say?
Don't even know how to put on a belt buckle. You think I'm asking about his main Spider-Man 2 consensus?
You should ask him. That's true.
Man, are we going with the fact that if you wear black, you're a better dancer? Come on now.
Listen. I'm not one to defend, the emo Peter Parker. It makes no sense that, if you become evil, that's made apparent to the audience by changing your hairstyle like that. That doesn't make any sense. Okay? I'm not gonna defend that. But there's some really good stuff in Spider-Man 3, man. Sandman?
There is.
Are you kidding me? Sandman alone.
Yeah, but the way that they focus in on villains, it just negates the importance of the others. Like, they should have just gone one route.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's what makes that movie it not as concisely made as Amazing Spider-Man 2, because at least Amazing Spider-Man 2, aside from the whole Harry little subplot, that it was fine, but it wasn't the best, the most well developed. But I think that the Electro that they went with and how they went about the growth in Peter Parker and his vision of himself as like this famous being and like ignoring Gwen, like everything, like it fit. Like with Spider-Man 3, I don't know, it felt like a back and forth that was unnecessary. It's not a bad movie, but I agree that Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 are like always battling it out in like the worst in the list.
Yeah, they battle for the worst Spider-Man movie. We'll just say that.
There's a clear cut answer, man, and it's not Spider-Man 3.
No.
That's crazy.
I mean, because to me, like at least like one of the hearts about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is Gwen and Peter, and I always love like that kind of like back relationship between Peter and like his significant others. Him and Mary Jane Spider-Man 3, throw that shit out the window, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the worst.
I agree.
Especially when Gwen says he comes in being a homewrecker.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh man.
I agree.
So bad.
I don't like Mary Jane at all in these movies, man. It's just it's just crazy to me, man. In all my years of living, my 24 years on this planet, I've never heard anyone like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is I gotta sit back and think about this, man.
Well, also taking the fact of the choreography for Amazing Spider-Man 2 was actually pretty cool. Like the whole swing and everything with like the opening scene. Fucking
mean,
dope.
Bruh, and that dubstep battle with Electro, come on,
Yeah,
that's kind of
yeah.
fire.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
Fire.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Are we gonna sit here and act like Peter first gets the black suit and is looking at his reflection on the
Yeah.
skyscraper? Isn't a
that's good.
cool scene?
I think it's iconic. No, I think it's iconic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, that was cool.
Spider-Man 3. Okay, so I think Spider-Man 3 has more memorable moments than the Amazing
Without a
Spider-Man
doubt.
2.
Yes.
But the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a much more like well-developed movie in terms of what it's focusing on.
I wouldn't go that
characters.
far. I wouldn't go that
Characters.
And characters, man, the characters. If you're gonna focus on characters, like you be willing to look at fucking the Marvel movies. They took a while to get to Endgame, where Endgame you have fucking a million characters, and you care for like 20 of them the same way. How do you achieve that? You don't achieve that with doing one movie, and it's like, no, wait, you should care about these people. Here you go, here's Harry, or here you go, here's fucking Sandman. It's like, I don't give a shit about Sandman. Get Sandman out of here. I want to fight. I want to see Venom. And I want to see new Green Goblin.
Nah, I was the opposite, man. I wanted Sandman and Hobgoblin, and that was it. I didn't want Venom in that movie. Like
Venom?
Sandman and to a lesser extent Hobgoblin were the best parts of that movie. But
because that's another thing. It's not even the characters that they chose. it's the choices. Like,
Hey, Jay.
what?
Strawberries.
No joke. So like I was watching Spider-Man 2 last night, and I totally forgot that there was this scene after what's his name, Doc Ock's wife dies and the experiment goes wrong and whatever, and Harry comes out of the building, you know, the ambulance is here, the police are rushing through the building, and he's like, I'm ruined. He touched me or something like that.
Nothing but Spider-Man.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that. I was like, what the hell, man? What's with this dialogue, man?
Harry needs to stop whining. That's what he needs to do. Harry, it's not all about you, bro.
Nah, he got his
Seriously.
comeuppance in 3, man. That was honestly one of the funniest parts of the entire movie.
Yeah.
Strawberries.
Yeah. But and this is the last point I'll make, but that Harry and Peter fight in the beginning of the third movie, with like the wedding ring like falling in like slow motion or whatever. That's lit. That's a lit fight.
Where Harry
holds up.
loses his memory.
Yeah, I hit that plot point,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a good fight.
Yeah. It felt like, yeah, you lose it. You lose your memory. Like, it felt very forced in.
Yeah, no, that fist fight was definitely that was a winner.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's get started. Chet, do you want to turn up your microphone audio up a little bit? Because I think you're still coming in a little quiet.
Yeah, you're still quiet on my end. Maybe I can just raise your volume on my end, but I'm not sure other people will probably hear you. Let me see. Yeah, I think Walt actually had the same problem.
Yeah, I did have it for a bit. So literally just mess around with your volume settings on the PS4.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you're better. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep. Yep, a bit. Do a little more.
No, do a little less actually.
Oh, really?
You're spiking a little bit. Yeah, you're spiking.
Oh,
Perfect. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
there we go.
Perfect.
Cool. Let us. Oh, and by the way, Macho, I got that first episode downloaded. I tried sending it to you, but then obviously it wasn't gonna send, so I gotta upload it myself.
Okay, cool. Yeah, once you do that, then I'll make it a project to do all the other episodes.
Okay. All right, guys. Welcome back to the DualShock and Sense Podcast. I am your host, Soul, the connoisseur of anime waifus, joined as always by my two co-hosts. I got Macho. How you doing, man?
How's it going, everybody? It's Macho here, the king. I'm sorry. The Lord of Kingdom. No, I'm sorry. The God of Kingdom Hearts, because I'm beast in these streets in Super Smash Bros. As Sora. Ain't that right?
Oh man.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man. It's the King of Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy finale. What's going on, everybody? It's been a good week. It's gonna be a great podcast. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get to it.
I absolutely love how no one said anything. Like no one was supporting your bullshit, man.
I love it.
Walt,
Just a.
how you doing, man?
What's up, y'all? what cooking? The Muggle Maniac. It's been an eventful, semi-eventful week. Not much is happening. Just a lot of teasing. Some good things. Some very unfortunate things. Very tragic things. But you know that's life. In the entertainment world. We're gonna get talking with these games, talking about that life, talking about that industry, and Soul. I think it's not just us three today.
Yeah, we got ourselves a guest, man. Chet, why don't you introduce yourself, man?
Oh, no one can hear you. No one can hear you, actually. Here, you might have your mic muted.
Oh, okay. I actually don't know how you do it on PS4, but yeah, there should be an option to unmute your microphone.
It might be in your settings, like where you can like allow other people to hear.
Yeah, where you can
Your
share
mic-
it with like parties and whatnot.
Yeah. Good catch, Macho.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Just want to make sure, just in case.
Alright, is that it?
Let me try. Let me see.
I think I may have got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you now. Cool.
Alright, let me run back that introduction, I guess. Alright, so I'm Chet. I go by Ergon and everything. Longtime gamer, friends with Macho for ages.
Yeah, man. Middle school days.
Yeah, middle school. So,
Wow.
I'm a Smash. I play a lot. Monster Hunter's like the greatest gift to humanity. Nobody can convince me otherwise. I don't know. I play a little bit of everything.
So I think this would be like a good kind of like icebreaker, like for us to like get to know you a bit more. Like, what is sort of like your go-to, like, no matter what era or generation, what is like the one game that you look at that you regard as like that is my game, like my favorite game of all time?
It's Monster Hunter.
Okay.
100%. I got a Monster Hunter tattoo. I got figures all over my room. I'm a fiend.
Hell yeah.
I've been playing it since the beginning.
Hell yeah. Do you have like a specific, like, which one is your favorite in the franchise?
I think I'm on the unpopular opinion. It's 3 Ultimate.
Okay. Nice.
I like the underwater combat that nobody likes.
Nice. I respect it.
That is some weird taste. That is some weird taste, though. Like, you never hear someone, like, go, oh, man, sweet, I want an underwater level in my game. It's like, usually you just hear the, dang it, again? Like, why are these necessary? You know?
It's because it's frustrating, and you feel helpless, but I like that you feel helpless underwater against water-based monsters. I don't know, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so speaking of that, like, quick, because talking about the games that you play, have you played the Souls games?
Oh, yeah, yep.
So, Sekiro specifically, do you enjoy the underwater combat in that one?
I didn't play Sekiro yet.
Okay, because that one, you know, being a Dark Souls, Souls game, and being as hard as it is, it does feature. I think it's the first one to feature underwater combat, and
Okay.
it's very frustrating. But I mean, I wanted to see if you also were a masochist there.
I usually am, so I'd probably...
Hey, yo.
I'd probably like it.
No, come on, Jay, come on.
Listen, I play League of Legends. I hate myself a lot.
Oh, wow.
True. Very true. Yeah, man. So, cool. Do you have, so I guess this kind of leads into like my follow-up question. Do you have a specific, I guess, favorite like generation, a specific console maybe, or just like era in gaming that you also look at as your favorite, whether it's PS2 or GameCube era or PS3 era? Like, what do you look at as your definitive like favorite era in gaming?
I don't know if I specifically have a favorite. I think I'm most nostalgic on like GameCube era, just because
Yeah.
It's probably what made the biggest impact on me growing up.
Yeah.
You know, PS2 GameCube era was like the building blocks for me figuring out what I like and just really getting into everything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually me on PS3, to be honest. Where like that's where I broke out into like other genres of gaming. That was the first time I actually played a Call of Duty. You
We
know?
played a lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah, we did. And then also Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3, man. That was the first time where
Yeah.
I got introduced to fighting games, and I just, we both were
Were you
going
fiending for
in.
that?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, I hated you and Spencer.
Yeah, I hate Virgil. You're the worst.
True that, man. True that.
No, but
Yeah, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think for me, yeah, the PS2 and GameCube era, specifically would probably be like my answer to that question as well. Yeah, I just got introduced to like so many franchises for like the first time, and during that time, and then weirdly enough, like PS3 was like awful for me because like I didn't expand my horizons at all during that generation. Just like it was simply like Assassin's Creed and like sports games. And then like the occasional like weird game I would play, like Crisis. Like I had no familiarity with that series, and then just randomly I picked up Crisis 2. So like I had those like outliers, but like the PS3 and 360 era was like a really bland one for me. And then PS4 happened, and I was like, oh, Nier Automata, oh, Yakuza, oh,
Yeah.
Persona 5, oh, and, trying out all
culture.
these games. Yeah,
JRPGs.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, definitely PS2, GameCube, and then PS4 were definitely like my favorite times.
You know what's interesting about that is how like GameCube definitely is the most nostalgic, but then I remember the Wii being that one console that made me like think about like because you had M-rated games on the Wii.
Oh man, I hated the
but
Wii.
you had counterparts obviously in the PS3 on the Xbox. So there would be moments where I'm like, ooh, like I don't know, Dead Space Extraction. I'm like, oh, but it's
You know
kind of
what?
weird on the Wii. Like
to that
What?
point, I think the Wii's that era was so like bland for me, because the Wii for the longest time was my console of choice. Like I think I got that maybe like a year after launch, and like I just had I saw like all the third party games like not going on that console. I remember playing. I got
Yeah.
I got like NBA Live 09, I think, for the Wii, and it looking
Sheesh.
absolutely night and day different than the one on the 360 and PS3. Like the characters literally looked like Roblox characters, man. And I was like, man, what is this? But I mean, it was like obviously like Twilight Princess was awesome on it, and I played like
No,
Naruto
yeah,
fighting
yeah.
games on the Wii as well. But that was
Bro.
like, Sonic Riders as well. That game was awful, but I had a lot of fun with
No,
it.
dude.
But
The
yeah, that
Wii,
was it.
all I played on the Wii, I had an amazing time with. You know, from the Wii. I mean, okay, Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, like no cap, it's like one of the best times I ever had on the Wii because it was just so much fun. But aside from that, like yeah, you had your Naruto games, the Ninja Revolution games.
Yeah.
You had the you just mentioned it, the Twilight Princess game. That one was phenomenal. That's like one of my
It's my favorite
most fond
Zelda.
memories. Yeah, dude, that is my first Zelda and my first favorite. It's like Final Fantasy X is my favorite because it's the first one. But like the Wii was just one of the best times in gaming for me. But then as I grew up, I'm like, I want to like vary my taste in video games, and I can't because I don't have a console for it. And then I was like, man, should I go with the PS3? It's so bloody. Is it good? And like my first two games on the PS3, Grand Theft Auto 4 and Assassin's Creed 2, and that was my introduction to both franchises. No, that's lies.
Damn. Wow.
That's, that was my first time on a mainline Grand Theft Auto because I had played Vice City Stories on the PSP. But like, that was my first time with Assassin's Creed, and I was blown away. I was like, whoa, you can visit history, and it's like assassins, and everything was like mind blowing. And then about God of War 3, my first God of War, and I was like, this is like one of the best games I've ever played.
God
in
of
my
War
life.
3 was your first God of War?
Yeah.
Hey, it was
Holy shit,
it
what
was
an
mine.
introduction.
It was mine too. I actually didn't play God of War
Damn,
3
wow.
until the PS4 remaster.
Oh.
Wow.
I didn't play
and-
Uncharted
Crazy.
until the PS4 remaster either.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Interesting.
That's what I mean when I say that the PS3 era was just like a complete wash for me, man. Like I didn't play like anything aside from like probably like the big tentpole stuff like Skyrim. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a weird gen for me.
But the PS3 was definitely back in that generation. That was my peak of gaming because it's when I discovered like new taste for myself. Because Nintendo, I was never waving. I never was like waving on that in that regard. Because for Nintendo, I absolutely loved everything about their first party games and their consoles and even the Wii. I enjoyed the heck out of the Wii. But then you see how everyone tried to replicate that and failing miserably. And you just see things like the Kinect, and you see things like the PlayStation Move, and you see things like you remember the PlayStation Move, that fucking like a horrible look, horrible, just horrible like
was
lineup
trying to
of
get
games.
into motion stuff for a while. Remember the iToy on the PS2?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
that was
no,
horrible.
like-
that was
Yeah, that was
horrible.
rough.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, Nintendo just they knocked it out of the park for a while, and now with this, I think the Switch is like currently their magnum opus of like motion, handheld, and just I wouldn't say docked on while being at home because they don't really have even Metroid Dread when you play it on handheld versus docked, it looks
Yeah,
funny
don't
as
play it on
heck.
docked. Don't play
Don't
it
play
on
it on
docked.
docked. It's a rough experience, but yeah, it's interesting. Video games are interesting.
Yeah, definitely, man. So yeah, man, we are going to, before, as I like to say, before we start the podcast proper, we are going to talk about the games that we've been playing recently. For me, it's still just chipping away at Kana. I do got some smoke for.
Ooh.
You know what? I wasn't gonna be messy and mention his name, but Smooth. Listen, man. he was tweeting about
Oh my God, Kid Smooth.
what was his name, man? There's this boss in Kana, relatively an early boss called Taro's Regret or something like that. But it's the Taro boss fight, and he was tweeting about like, God damn, this boss fight, like obviously like it was giving him a hard time, and like it's not that bad. Like I think I beat it in like my second try. The one thing that is really annoying is that boss had definitely some Dark Souls level hit detection where I literally rolled away. Like this boss has this grab attack that literally he jumps from like one side of the arena literally to the other in like a split second. And if you're caught in that grab, you're basically dead. And I literally, like, I literally watched it unfold right before my eyes, man. Like, I rolled out of this guy's, grab animation and literally teleported into his hand. Like, I was way out of his grab, and literally in slow motion watched Kana mid-roll just, like, teleport into his grab. I was like, what the hell, man?
That's some Sekiro shit right there.
Yeah, man, it was pretty ridiculous. But aside from that, I'm definitely chipping away at a lot of the bosses in the game. I think I'm starting to get a hang of, like, they're definitely pretty tough. Like they definitely push me to like I'm out of heals by the time I'm almost done with these bosses. So yeah, they're definitely challenging. The platforming is getting more involved. It's nothing like too crazy, but it's definitely gotten to the point where like, okay, now you have to use your bow and you have to use your bomb and you have to time everything correctly, like basically getting everything that you've learned up to this point and utilizing it all at the same time. So the platforming is definitely becoming a little bit more involved and more fun. Again, nothing too crazy or challenging, but it's definitely fun, man. So yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it a lot. I'm really enjoying the characters that you're meeting along the way as well. It's overall, I'm really surprised, man. It's a really good package.
It's a good story, at least. Like, you like the story,
Yeah, it's actually
the
like,
mythology and all that.
yeah, it's basically like the theme just revolves around helping people move on to the afterlife. So helping them like find closure, like their spirits find closure in you know the real world. And you know, some of the things that are holding these characters on, you know, the world and like in the world, and figuring out, okay, like what is keeping them here, why aren't their spirits moving on to the afterlife, is like some pretty moving and sad stuff. So yeah, that stuff
That's
is
awesome.
is
That's,
really cool.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Spirit Fair I played last year,
Yeah.
which is like the kind of like the base building on your ship, and then
animals?
yeah, more or less, yeah, the animals but they're like sort of like reincarnated spirits into these animals, and then you find out through the backstories like why they stay behind and what they need to go on to the afterlife. And then of course it's all moving, it's like sad and melancholy, but at the same time it's also endearing. So I'm liking those kind of stories, so I'm excited to try out Kina then.
It's interesting. This is
Or
a
Kena.
theme that's very. I mean, I think it's a theme that you find a lot in Asian culture and a lot of beliefs in that side of the world. Because I have a game that I played. It's been a while since I played it. I think it's been a year and a half or so. It's called Oninaki, and it's essentially the same premise where it's more isometric and there's more customization in terms of moves and in terms of you have these spirits that you meet along the way that are of past lives. So the premise of the game, you're this like kind of shaman or shaman where your job is to look for spirits that are still tied to the mortal world, and same as Kana, figure out why they're still attached and help them figure out their regrets or any unfinished business that they have so that they can move on. But you meet along the way, you meet these spirits they have no memory, no recollection. So you take it upon yourself to like help them along their journey. So they join you, and along them you have a set of moves, whether that be like dual guns or a big broadsword and as you battle it out, as you gain more experience and go through the story, the more experience, the more growth your character with the particular spirit, the more you learn about the spirit's backstory, and the more you help it in getting near the finish line of, you know, ascending to the heaven. I played it on the Switch. It's a very, very like fantastic video game that I don't know. It got hard. It got really hard at some point, and I just stopped for a bit, and I forgot to get back to it. But this is definitely, hearing about Kina, it definitely makes me want to go back to it. It's an interesting theme. A video game should explore it more. It's very endearing.
Yeah,
and
I
tragic.
love that stuff.
Yeah.
But what about you guys? What are you guys playing?
Macho, did you play Final Fantasy?
I am playing Final Fantasy, and this idiot healer didn't revive anybody, so
Damn,
just
man,
die.
come on. Go Platinum Healer.
I'm sorry, yeah, no toxicity here. I apologize. It's the boss has 2% left health. God damn it. Because yeah, I've been dabbling to Final Fantasy 14. I've been doing the grinding for the relic weapons and such like that. So we're countdown to Endwalker, man. Countdown to the Endwalker, to the goats of expansions here. Can't wait to dive into that next month. But I actually finished 2 games the past week, fellas. I finished Scarlet Nexus. I finished Kasane's run, and I have to do Yuito's next. And I will say that right now, it's absolutely needed. I feel like I can't really give a definitive like opinion on this game until I beat Yuito's run, because right now I finished Kasane's and I'm definitely confused. A little more confused than I think if I would have did Yuito's playthrough first. Overall, though, I think the game's a lot of fun, and I love it. I think it's definitely going to be like in my top 5 games of the year, if not in top 10, because it's absolutely just a blast to play. The music, the environments, the characters, like just bonding with the characters too. It's a great action or anime JRPG that I highly recommend. But yeah, man, it's a ton of fun. I think it's definitely worth like full price or even on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, definitely go and download it. It's definitely worth a play. So that one I finished earlier in the week, and then when I finished about like Wednesday, I think it was, or maybe Tuesday, Metroid Dread.
Whoa.
Another amazing game of the year, like, or at least one of the top games of the years for sure. It doesn't sit on top with Hollow Knight and Ori and the Will of the Wisp for me. But it definitely is like a really great game with awesome cinematic boss fights, and overall I think the entire environment and like the tone and theme of everything is great, and it just reinforces that we need more Samus Aran in this era. She's just an absolute freaking badass, and I want her in more games.
Hey.
And what we talked about before last week, Walt,
Yeah.
there absolutely needs to be like a Metroid movie.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Like absolutely,
absolutely.
like a survival, like a survival horror Metroid movie, or even like a spacefaring, not even like a spacefaring adventure, but just something that along this of a Metroid movie that kind of has the same tone as Dread. It's incredible. Like that, like to me, like that would be an awesome movie to watch, and I am 100% vouching for Nicole Kidman as Samus Aran. So. But yeah, Metroid Dread and Scarlet Nexus, two great games that absolutely need to be on your guys' list if you haven't played them yet. Except for you, Jakes. I know you don't have a Switch, so you're not gonna get a Switch.
You ain't wrong about that. You ain't wrong about that.
Yeah. It's just like, man, even because I played Metroid Dread docked and undocked. Let me just say, I have the OLED Switch, so it's definitely worth seeing it undocked. It's a gorgeous looking game when you see it on a small screen. Put that on a 66-inch. Oh boy. That's a rough looking game. That's a rough looking game, boys. It really makes you wonder what Nintendo could do with high fidelity games that are like of the quality of PlayStation.
Imagine 4K. Imagine 4K Breath of the Wild.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do. So is imagine. I can do the same thing with Metroid Dread, man. Like honestly, if it's already a pretty looking game with like gorgeous colors and an amazing art style. But yeah, it doesn't really. It's still not on that level of Ori 2 and Hollow Knight's visual appeal, where like every area feels significant and different. In Metroid Dread, everything kind of blends together. So after a while, it feels like you're experiencing like one giant map, like, which is like good and bad, right? Because because it's essentially like one planet. So like it makes sense that it's it's all part of one thing, and the same thing with like other Metroidvania games, but still like it doesn't feel as much of a significance between going to the different places in Hollow Knight or even Ori and Ori 2, and you feel like you're venturing to a different area, whereas in Metroid Dread it's kind of just like been there, done that, So
okay, yeah, it's more familiar.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing, right? Because like these games are meant to be speed run or sped run rather. So that kind of familiarity and kind of knowing where you're going without really scouring the whole environment is good for people that like to speed run. So, and from what I understand, these games are meant to be sped run. So,
absolutely, even the way she walks.
Yeah, and I think that ties into Super Metroid or whichever Metroid game it was, where like the only way you can actually see Samus unmask herself. I'm hearing this from hearsay, so don't take my word for it. The only way you can hear or see Samus unmask herself if you actually speed run Super Metroid or something like that.
Wow.
So it's kind of like a secret ending. Yeah, so it's like a secret ending of sorts. So I'm kind of wondering if there's maybe a certain speed run you can do in Metroid Dread and maybe get like a secret ending or something, because that ending twist, boys, oh my god, it's nuts. Yeah, it's actually pretty nuts. Like, how Resident Evil, they really have like kind of like a good beginning and middle, and they catch you along, and then you have like the kind of that really weird like a C movie action ending where like things kind of don't make sense, and they kind of just like shit's just blowing up just to blow up.
Yeah.
It's not like that Metroid Dread. It actually sticks to landing.
Whoa.
As far as like the ending and like having it like be really cinematic and really cool, and like what this means for the future of like the franchise, like it's really cool. So I'm looking forward to the next game if that gets made like in the next 20 years. So
love to hear it.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Walt, what about you, man? What have you been playing?
Well, my boy, what have I been playing this week? I gave another shot to Tormented Souls, a classic horror Resident Evil inspired video game. I think it's by a Canadian development team. And because first time I played, the save points were so far apart that I did the first save point. I was like, okay, I'm feeling comfortable. But then I did so much, and then I actually got into combat, and the combat is a bit clunky. It's a bit hard to get a handle of. So I got frustrated, and I died. But I died out of not knowing how the heck the combat worked. So I went back like 30 minutes worth of content back, and of things that I had done. So I just quit. But this time around, I knew what I had done. I did all of it, and I saved, and now I'm just giving that one a shot. Having a blast. I told Macho how the ambiance and the environment in Tormented Souls is just, it's phenomenally like well done. It definitely gives me the same vibes that I had when I first played Resident Evil 1. By no means am I comparing it to the Juggernaut, but the feelings and how I felt playing it, and the terror and the not knowing what's around the corner, definitely it's there, and I think that's what makes these fixed angle horror video games just work. Aside from that demo, I played some Tales of Arise. Been playing more of that, getting through it because I'm playing in short bursts because I've been just juggling between different games. I played a little bit of Catherine. This week has been more like a little bit here, a little bit there. I played Metroid Dread. Been playing more of that, discovering more of the map, just getting lost in it. And honestly, there's no game that I've finished this week, just more continuing of various games. But then I took on the task. And yes, I did this, and I will tell you what I did. I was like, it's been years, and I mean years. And although I talk shit about it, it has been years since I've played one of these. And I was like, when was the last time I played a title of this franchise? It's been more than 6 or 7 years, maybe a little bit. Yeah, it's like 6 or 7 years since I last played. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna, even if it's the same thing that it's been for the last couple of years, I'm gonna buy it, and I've been playing it. And I don't know how y'all gonna react to it, but I purchased a game where if you do a cry, it can hear you from far away. If I don't want to say it.
Well, spit it out, man.
I'll get clowned. Far Cry 6.
God damn.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me.
Damn, you supporting that, huh?
Listen to me.
Jeez.
Listen to me. Why did I buy
after
it?
we
Okay.
spent a podcast talking nothing but
And I stand by everything I said. But again, it has been literally years, and I've only heard and seen what the other games have been. And yes, they have been the same, and there's been just a few tweaks here and there. But it's been so long, and in my mind, I'm like, I want to at least try the newest one, because I remember how much I loved 3. And I'm like, I might as well try now with the PS5, because I know it'll be the best way to play just any Far Cry, and it'll be like on a modern console or PC. But in this case, I want to try the PS5. And I've just been getting through that. I barely just started it the other night. I know, and I know. But you know what? Proud. I am. Y'all want the circus? I got the circus. I got the whole cart and 20 of them inside of them. Yup. Yeah.
I'll send you the yellow shoes. All right, I'll send you the big yellow shoes.
Yeah, make them a size 15 so that they fit.
No.
Make them.
That's cap. That's cap.
That's big cat.
This man think he's Shaq over here.
No, man, but that's been my short burst one. But aside from that one, mostly Metroid Dread and Tales of Arise, because we said it at the beginning of the podcast, because Jay admitted to liking them. JRPGs, that's the way to go.
Yes, sir.
And whoever says that Western JRPGs are better than JRPGs, we gotta talk. But yeah.
Chet, what about you, man? What have you been playing this week?
Well, recently I got into Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
So
man.
I've been playing that like non-stop until Sora came out, in which I'm back at Smash again.
Yeah,
So
how's Sora play?
Sora is really floaty. I don't know how else to describe it. He is a lot of fun. I feel like he's got some stuff that I just haven't figured out yet.
Yeah.
Because floaty characters are not my forte. And
Yeah, I see. I see.
myself-
He's like like a mix of Mewtwo, like a little bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got like, well, he's literally got the same like airspeed as Kirby,
Yeah.
and that is hard. Because I play like Crom, and
Okay.
he's like run you down swordsman.
Yeah.
So it's a little different being a fast faller to a floater, but I don't know, man. I found myself literally going, I desperately wish I liked playing a character of this style more, because I love Sora and I love Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
And
now I
wish
see why you two are
wish-
friends.
I wish more than anything that I could main Sora.
Who
Oh
do
yeah,
you
no,
mean?
yeah. We love Kingdom Hearts from
I
middle
play
school
Crom
days.
and Sephiroth.
Okay.
This man is like, that sounds competitive and aggressive, because whenever you go and someone's like my main, like, and they go like Crom or they go just Lucina or something, you're like, oh jeez, I don't want to play with you, because you know they just go hard. You won't have fun. No item. Like, you won't have time to just take a moment. Like, that's why I play King K. Rool, because it's just fun. I just spam that ball, that
He
cannon.
is fun.
Yeah, just big fun characters. But no, man, I can see what you and this boy, y'all friends. Oh, the fighting is in you.
Yeah, I think when like I don't have a Switch, but like I do there's an arcade like 5 minutes away from my house, and they have a ton of like fighting games over there, and they have like a little station for Smash set up, and yeah, the two characters that I always usually roll with are either Lucario or Bayonetta. Those are just the two that I have like the most fun with, I feel like.
Those are very
Is that why
good
you don't have a
characters.
Switch? Because you just go to the arcade?
Yeah. Just I get my fill over there. Yeah, that's it. But no, they also have Guilty Gear, and they have Blast Blue over there too. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, dude.
Wow.
Nice.
But like an actual like I don't even know what they're called, but like the giant like machines with like the joysticks and then like the buttons like
Arcade
on.
cabinet?
Yeah. For like Guilty Gear and Blast Blue, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like anime fighters, so I'd be all about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Guilty Gear Strive has been excellent so far.
Yeah, I've I think maybe 2 months ago, when we were in like a pretty low period for releases this year, I just like out of the blue downloaded BlazBlue
Out of the
Cross. Yeah.
Blaze Blue Cross Tag?
Yeah, Cross Tag, and
Yeah.
I played that for a little bit. It's pretty cool. I really love Arc System Works art style, so yeah, it
Yeah,
was
same.
pretty fun.
PlayStation All-Star.
No, but add to Chet's point about Sora being floaty. Like, yeah, it kind of threw me off how floaty he really is. But once I actually got used to his movement and just his whole mobility, I was ready to mess people up, man. Like, he's so much
He just
fun.
goes off stage forever. He spends like half the game off stage, and it's perfectly safe.
Yeah, dude. Once I actually learned that once you do his down smash, once he finishes that animation, you're able to do his up smash and then side smash, which basically teleports him all across the stage. It's nuts. I save myself quite a bit of time, or quite a bit of lives rather, just from knowing that mechanic and actually like practicing it.
Yeah.
It makes sense
I
that he's
find myself
floaty.
getting caught under the stage too much with the side B.
Oh yeah. So
Drives me nuts.
Yeah, I wanted to bring in the podcast mostly to talk about the Smash Bros stuff, man, because we're at the end of an era, and Sora being kind of like the final character here, us being both big Kingdom Hearts fans, and just overall, like, so what's your overall impression of Sora? I know you say he's floaty, but like, do you think he's gonna add anything to the tournament scene? Since you are a Smash Bros player, you have been to tournaments. What's your kind of take on that? You have a really unique perspective when it comes to that because fighting games community themselves are very niche. So what's your take on that? And what's kind of like the Smash community feeling from what you're saying?
I think right now there's still a lot of exploration on Sora. Obviously, he's brand new. I think there's arguments as to whether he's really good or just kind of good. Some people are saying, "Oh, he's top tier. He's got all this stuff," and then other people are going, I think he's maybe like a mid-high tier, somewhere around there." I really don't want to give an opinion on that just yet, because I definitely think he's good, and he has a lot of wild stuff he could do. And I think he benefits a lot from playing really campy, which I can't do. I think him like camping you off stage for eternity is probably the best way to play him.
Interesting. Okay.
But like, Thunder's so good off stage. All his magic is so good off stage, and it stalls your aerial momentum, and it lets you do like all this dumb stalling, basically. But for the competitive scene, I can see him making an impact. But I think once people figure out how to play against him, he's definitely going to have some hard counters, especially with his aerial movement being... The floatiness and how light he is, it definitely makes him easier. It's easy to kill him.
Yeah.
He's very light. I think he's like lighter than Sheik even, which is... He's like a piece of paper.
Yeah. But as far as like as far as the tournament scene goes, then E3 was kind of like delayed and all that stuff. But with given this time and people kind of experimenting with different characters, do you see people playing as Sora that much, or is it more just like, well, he's kind of like one of my favorite characters, so obviously I gotta play as him, or is it more of like, I love his mechanics, I love what he's doing, we're just gonna go in and see if we can rock this? Because in Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3 days, like, people will bring out some super obscure characters, right? It'll make them work in a team. Do you think that's the same thing's happening to Sora, where even though he has like a lot going against him, that there's still going to be some outliers in the tournaments?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some people representing the Sora. I've been watching, like online tournaments and stuff, people playing Sora in those. And there's kind of a cycle that happens every time a character gets released, where like people who love the character are gonna be like, this is my main, I'm playing him nonstop. And then once they kind of see the weaknesses, they go back to whoever they were playing. It's a cycle. It happens every time. I remember, like, one of the biggest ones was Banjo, because everybody like freaked out that Banjo was in the game, and all these people who just love Banjo-Kazooie were all over it. And then as soon as they realized, I don't like playing this character, they were just like, all right, later.
yeah. I know he's a weird character to play as. I can't get used to him.
I definitely can see people playing him because he's good, and I could definitely see people playing him because Kingdom Hearts is one of those franchises that it is definitely love it or hate it.
Yeah.
But the people who love it really love it.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like the biggest Kingdom Hearts fiend I know.
You know it. That's why I'm the god of Kingdom Hearts. I've ascended.
I've ascended. I've become light.
Exactly.
So
I want to ask you, unless you guys, Jay or Walt, do you guys have any questions for chat?
No, I was just gonna bring up that I saw my funniest or my favorite thing about Kingdom Hearts is that one clip of that one dude choking King Mickey up against the wall.
That's an iconic moment, man. It's one of the first times Disney actually allowed King Mickey to have some kink in him.
That's the extent of my knowledge about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, and Goofy's death, memorable.
Oh man, that was iconic. Don't mess with me on that one, man. That brought some
Right
tears
on.
to my eyes.
I gotta bring it up because you're talking about weird Kingdom Hearts moments. The thing that, like, you know when you, like, take a step back from Kingdom Hearts and you look at it and you're like, this is a weird game?
Oh yeah, the out of context clips and memes are hilarious.
Yeah, the thing that it's always stood out to me the most, and it's like every time I see it, it like makes my brain melt, is in Kingdom Hearts 2, when Pete literally like picks up and carries Orlando Bloom. I can't look at that scene. There's something about Pete picking up Orlando Bloom that just like melts everything I've ever known. Like, you're not supposed to do that. He's a people.
It makes that's why I love it. It's why I love it. Like there's so much like crazy stuff out of context, but then once you're in it, and you just have to be along for the ride. But yeah, it's absolutely hate or love it. But it was nice to see though when the reveal happened that so many people were just absolutely loving this reveal and having so much affinity for Sora. What was your reaction to all that? Because everybody knows my reaction. But what was your reaction to it all when you saw the trailer and everything?
So I knew this was the last character release, so I took the day off work so I could watch it uninterrupted.
I love it.
I do that for Smash announcements most of the time. Like, if I know one's coming, I'll just take off work. I don't care. I have sick time.
I love it. I love it.
So I'm sitting there watching it, and I see the little fire drop, and I went, "Holy shit! It's Dark Souls." That was my reaction. I went, "Oh my god, are we getting Artorias?" Like that. That's how I was.
God, can you imagine?
And
A lot of people thought that, yeah.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw the Keyblade, I was like, "Oh no way! It's finally happened!" It's like the characters I wanted in Smash. Most of them got turned into assist trophies.
Yeah, Monster Hunter, right?
Monster Hunter, Golden Sun. I have a soft spot in my heart for Sonic the Hedgehog games, so like if Shadow got in, I'd freak out. But like, I wanted a Monster Hunter rep more than anything, and second to that was Sora. So getting my number 2 was like awesome. I was so happy.
Yeah, I think everybody was kind of in that realm of like this can definitely, like it will be an amazing thing if they pull this off because we all know what Kingdom Hearts like legal nightmare is. I was talking about it to my cousin actually last night. You know my cousin Nathan. We were talking about it last night, and even he wasn't really like fully aware of like who owns Kingdom Hearts. Like it's Disney. Disney owns Kingdom Hearts. They own like Sora and stuff like that. But as far as like the Kingdom Hearts characters, a lot of that creativity and like Axel, Kyrie, that all belongs to Square Enix.
Square Enix has the rights to their characters though. Like they don't own the Kingdom Hearts franchise, but they own Sora.
Yeah. Is that
That's their character?
Yeah. So like Square Enix owns
it's a really
like
weird copyright hell they're in.
Yeah, that's why Square Enix is able to do whatever they want with characters like Axel, Xemnas, because like those are their characters they created, so they own them. But like when it comes to like the kid with the big yellow shoes and the Disney World, all that stuff, and even just like the franchise, so like it's a weird like co-ownership. But like to even make it happen is
if you look
crazy.
at how Sora was included in Smash, they censored everything Disney except the Mickey Mouse keychain on the key.
Yeah, it's all they got.
Even in like all the the stained glass, they had to take Donald and Goofy out of those. Like they replaced it with like a Paupu fruit or something.
Yeah, you just love it. It's best friends in the world. They fall alongside for a world. Sea Raft and the Paupu fruits.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy, just like how like his inclusion, like what it means to just fans and just like the overall gaming stream in itself. I think they chose an amazing icon. Do you think that you agree? Could you see any other character that would have been as great? I know you said Monster Hunter, but like a lot of people are throwing like Master Chief or anything like that.
I think the only character choices that would have made a big impact for like the final character, like Sora's one of them, Master Chief's definitely one of them. I think Crash Bandicoot would have been another one.
Okay.
I don't think there are too many characters that people, wanted enough, like on a massive level like that, you know. So I think it had to be one of the big ones.
Dude, Fortnite guy, come on.
Oh,
Come on,
No.
Jonesy.
Don't-
Gotta put
not
Jonesy in there.
Jonesy.
Stop joking. Stop joking. Well, you don't
Or-
like
I
those
was
jokes.
sitting there and I was like, if I see a battle bus in this presentation, I'm turning it off.
Yo, dropping into the stage.
I would
No.
have cried if it was Fortnite guy. I would have been like, really? Or that's like
Yeah,
that's
that
that's
that would have turned into
that's
crying in the bad way instead of the good way.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been as bad as seeing Byleth, man. That was such like an underwhelming appeal or reveal.
The one
You
that's
know-
been the most weird, it's been Steve, Minecraft Steve. That's just odd. It's just bizarre as heck.
He deserves the inclusion into Smash. I don't really like Minecraft, I'll be honest. But I think he deserves the spot in the game for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a revolutionary like title. In Minecraft in and of itself, it's made such a huge impact just in video gaming in general. It makes sense for that one, and you know, there's a large audience for Minecraft Steve, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
you have games that are just based off you know, a popularity and more on mainstream like Fortnite, which Fortnite guy it wouldn't look like an inclusion of video game history more than it would look like, yeah, it's popular, let's put it in. You know?
Yeah, it would look like more of a marketing tactic than
Yeah.
like a celebration, you know?
Yeah, like putting in Goku. Like people wanted Goku. Like how does that make sense? Like why?
Yeah, Goku would be cool, but that's not a video game character. That's a
Yeah.
character that was in video games.
Exactly, and that's where it like where do you draw the line in like video game characters that you include? So like Kingdom Hearts makes sense because again, it's such a. I think Kingdom Hearts falls into this category of video games that is just so. It can be both obscure, but at the same time so known. Like, people won't be like, I think I've heard of it. No, you either know Kingdom Hearts or you don't.
Yeah,
You don't
it's,
just,
it's
like-
that's the game with Disney. People know
Yeah,
it.
exactly. You don't more or less know about it. No, you know about the property that is Disney affiliated and it's like huge, you know? But yeah. Interesting choices for Smash. A lot of people wanted Dante as well from Devil May Cry.
That would have been a good one too.
He got me
That would've been too.
costumed.
He did. Yeah,
Or
and
Dante.
Doom Guy, right? Doom Guy
Yeah,
got a
Doom
Mii
Guy,
costume.
Doom Guy was part of this last pack.
How do
Yeah,
you
that's
I know
what-
a lot of
that?
people
Like,
wanted him.
That's what makes Smash such an iconic game, dude. Just because like I was booting it up literally a couple days ago, and I had my eight. I did an 8-player Smash. One was Sora, and the rest were Mii costume characters. But those Mii costume characters were Cuphead, Vault Boy from Fallout, Doom Guy, Shantae, Barrett from Final Fantasy VII, and Dante, and a couple others. And I'm just like, look at this fucking video game, man. Like, this is a video game. And on top of like all the other crazy characters like Banjo-Kazooie and Joker from Persona 5 and stuff like that. Like, look at this fucking video game, man. Like, this is wild. This is like, what a time to be alive.
Yeah, and Smash Ultimate's done so much. I mean, it earned its name.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where do you guys think Smash is going after Ultimate? Because
See-
Sakurai said his goodbyes. Like, I don't think Sakurai is going to be involved in the next one, assuming there is.
See, I was thinking about like where can you go from being Ultimate and like this amount of hype and these amount of characters, right? And to me, the only thing that makes sense in the short term, at least, is for Nintendo to keep the Ultimate train going, but have a re-release and actually have it have decent netcode.
They're not going to do that.
I know. Yeah, I know. But one could dream of like them actually having
I
a
dream
decent
about it.
netcode of Smash Brothers, because that's the only thing really stopping me from keeping playing Smash Brothers is
I would
the
play a lot
online.
more.
Yeah,
I would
if
play
the
so much more if the online was
like,
good.
can you imagine if we had like actual good GTPO netcode that ran flawlessly in Smash Brothers the same way it does for Guilty Gear Strive? You would have to like redo the entire game because of, like the way it runs, but I feel like that has to be the next best step, short term at least, because like how do you
adding more
go?
spirits too. To keep adding spirits.
Yeah, but how better can you get than what you got right now? You know?
Yeah, I personally think they're gonna go the opposite direction I think they're gonna like soft reboot the series, cut like a ton of characters, and change the mechanics up a bunch. I think that's the next step.
Hmm. Okay.
Because like, how do you top Smash Ultimate? You don't. Like,
You don't.
you know the
That's
amount
the
of work
thing.
that went into this game.
I think it's a generational kind of thing. So if they do that, the soft reboot, it would make sense if they go more because Smash Ultimate, you look at it, that's a generation. That's like specific generation of gamers. If you do that, but with like the next generation, like who do you start including? You know, maybe you start like including the ones that people wanted in this one. You know, and you scratch that because they made polls. They people want in a Smash game.
Yeah.
You go from there, but you start making more polls, and I don't think Sakurai would be behind it. In my mind, there's going to be a lot of companies trying to replicate Smash as they've always been, and so far one of the more successful ones that people are actually like receiving quite well is in the Nickelodeon fighting game.
Yeah.
But
the Nickelodeon one is it's very good
It's not
as
bad.
a fighter,
Yeah, it's not bad.
but it's not very polished.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
the
It needs
thing,
some
right?
work. It needs some work to needs definitely some work on it for sure.
Yeah.
they just need to keep refining and the formula that Smash did so well, because Smash just perfected Smash. This is not the first Smash, you know. There have been various tries into making the perfect Smash. Is there a perfect Smash? I think so. I think it's Ultimate. Ultimate is like the perfect Smash game. People might argue.
People would say Melee.
Exactly, but it's because it's so snappy and so twitchy and so competitive and so like it's a lot more
Melee's
precise.
got a really high barrier for entrance.
Exactly, and I think for Melee, for you to be into Melee, you're either introduced by someone that is passionate about it, or you played it back then and you've stuck with it. You don't just, oh, you know what? Today I want to play Melee, because you don't just think about it. You know,
Yeah.
you look at the most recent entry, and when people look at that, they look at Ultimate, and come on, man, Banjo-Kazooie versus Wii Fit Trainer, like, what's going on?
That's what I'm saying. It's so nutty. It's so nutty.
Yeah.
Like you really, yeah, you guys are right. It totally just can't be topped. You have to kind of just keep going forward and appreciate it for what it is. And people that love it. And to that point, though, I think that really speaks to how fighting games are kind of marketed nowadays, where a lot of the appeal for fighting games is not just the core audience that loves that franchise, but also the guest characters that come into it.
Yeah.
Because people are going to be absolutely playing Smash Brothers for the rest of their gaming lives because their favorite characters in it, or they're going to be playing Mortal Kombat 11 or 10 because their favorite characters in it. You know, I still have Mortal Kombat 10. I don't play Mortal Kombat 10, but I still have because Jason Voorhees and Predator and Alien are all in that game. You know,
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
so
I think guest characters
so
is a huge part now.
so do you think that's going to have a big influence on the next Smash Brothers?
I mean, after the precedent that Ultimate set, I feel like, third-party guest characters are going to be like a mainstay. I feel like it's so... It feels so core to the game now.
Yeah, yeah, especially after because we had like what 2 years maybe, right? 2 or 3 years of just season pass characters.
Yeah. Been 2
Those
years,
2
I
packs.
believe.
Yeah, so you're right. It kind of feels like part of its identity at this point, where it's like an amalgamation of like all of these amazing iconic characters on top of other amazing iconic characters that 100% wouldn't be in this game if it wasn't for chance encounters, which Sora was. Sora was an absolute chance encounter that probably never would have happened if Sakurai hadn't run into like a Disney executive. Which is another thing I think that makes this character so iconic, because I'm sure you know about the history of like how Kingdom Hearts was kind of made, where Tetsuya Nomura had a chance encounter in an elevator with Disney exec, and he just pitched the game to them.
Yep.
And then Sakurai more or less kind of had the exact same scenario.
Yeah, he was at an award ceremony or something.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why Sora was in the game. And to me, like, I think that's probably one of the coolest gaming stories in history, that this character that by no means should exist at all only exists because of chance encounters and fate. Like that's crazy to me, and it's super cool.
Destiny.
Exactly. It's exactly Destiny's not a choice. But but yeah, so that's great, man. Now my final question I wanted to ask you before we move on to the other topics here. What does this mean for PlayStation Battle Royale 2 or Battle All Stars 2?
I feel like we already have that in Smash now. You know, we got all the Final Fantasy characters. We got Solid Snake. We could have our own PlayStation All Stars.
Will you look forward to that? Will you buy that? Is that day one for you?
PlayStation All Stars? Yeah, I'd play it. The first one was fun.
Dope, man. Dope.
I mean, I like platform fighters, man. I play them all.
Yeah. But the PlayStation 1 was a lot of fun. I actually played in that game. It was very good. Yeah, cool, man. That's awesome to hear. But yeah, thank you, man. Of course, you can stay around for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, you're more than welcome to chat in here with the other topics here. But
Yeah,
I'll kick it off to Soul here on what are we gonna do next?
Cool. Yeah, man. Let's you know what? Let's start off with the Uncharted movie trailer because I got some smoke for that too. But
Come on, I saw your neutral tweet. Stop it. Come on.
so I actually because I haven't talked to you guys about it, so I'm curious. What do you guys think about the trailer that came out?
Sure. Yeah. Well, you go first, man.
All right, man. All right, me, I'm a person with no expectations, okay? I try to stay away from them. They're dangerous, especially with movie adaptations of video games. And
You're still feeling that
enough,
PTSD from Cyberpunk, huh?
hey, man, that affected me in my personal life. I have a hard time trusting if the toilet is going to work well. If when I pee, is it going to come out, like, properly? You know, like...
I'll be disappointed.
It ain't right. No. So with the movie, okay, with Uncharted trailer, a few things. It had some great and some questionable things. Okay, what's the questionable thing? The casting choice for certain characters, specifically Sully.
All right, here we go.
Why?
Here we go.
Listen. That is not a bad choice of an actor. A fantastic actor. I like Mark Wahlberg's work. I love it. The Departed, fantastic. Love it.
Oh,
One of my
yeah.
favorite movies.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies ever.
Shooter was a really good one too.
Absolutely. But listen, what are they going for? We'll see when the movie comes out. But so far, me thinking about who Sully is, I don't see Sully. Now listen to me. Do I disagree with the choice? Do I disagree with the casting choice? I don't. Why? Because I like the version of Sully that they might go for. Because so far, it's a Sully that's different but familiar enough for it to work with me. It's not the charismatic, whippy Sully that's scolding Nathan when he's doing something that should have been done a bit more cleverly. Is it the Sully that is always, very suave with the ladies? It doesn't give that vibe. But the type of Sully that he's, exuding, it's a much more, like, stern and more serious, like, the world ain't something to mess around in. And Drake is someone that definitely messes around with in general. Now, in terms of what that trailer did well for me, the design of the sets, the costumes, the approach that they went with, how young and old the people look. I think did we get to see Chloe? We got to see Chloe, right?
Yeah.
Chloe Fraser. Okay, like there are certain things that definitely they did well in terms of the what they wanted to replicate from Uncharted. That one scene, the specific scene that really captured Uncharted, and they did well. Even though some movie adaptations of video games, they try to replicate certain scenes and they fail so miserably. I think that in the trailer, the plane scene where he's falling off the plane and there's all the cargo falling off and it's still attached, that whole scene, I think that's very, very, very well done in terms of adapting a video game sequence the right way in a movie. And for a split second, I got to see Nathan Drake in Tom Holland, and it's when the Irish fellow, he says something. I don't know what he said either. It's just as Drake didn't know what he said. And he went, what? Like, there, in that moment, you can kind of see the Nathan Drake that you know and love. That's so, like, he's not afraid to just let it out and just be honest. But throughout the whole trailer, Tom Holland was a much more serious Nathan Drake. I don't know. It's the severity into where they amplify certain characteristics of the characters from the video games and they null down others. It's that weird balance that they haven't. I mean, maybe when the movie comes out, it's the balance is there. But so far, it's more of a middle ground between a like perfect adaptation of a trailer and like a cosplay movie, like a Full Metal Alchemist situation where they
like a YouTube movie.
Yeah, like a YouTube movie. Yeah, like I think the trailer did enough for me to where I'm interested in the movie, but at the same time, I wonder if these characters will feel different, so different that I don't even think about what they're representing from the video game, if that makes sense. I don't know. I liked it. Am I worried? No, hell no. Why am I worrying about a movie? It's a damn movie. I'm here to have fun, man. But I don't know y'all's feelings. I know I saw a tweet, how Macho said, very neutral tweet, not causing any disruption or anything. But
y'all making a big deal out of this tweet, like it shook the internet or something like that.
But I'll pass it on to Macho to hear, see what this man thinks.
Yeah, man, it's a popcorn flick, man. It's
yeah.
not even a summer flick because come on, it's an absolute popcorn flick, and I'm all for it. Give me my butter popcorn. Give me the cookie dough candies.
Ooh, M&Ms.
a nice frosty, right?
Ooh.
And then we just get that buttered popcorn, and then we just sit down, watch it, have a great time.
Some chicken wings.
That's so weird. My friend was eating cookie dough when we were watching Dune. That's so weird.
Oh yeah, man! It's that cookie dough candy. It's lit, man.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I just found out that's the thing right now. What the heck?
Oh yeah, no, those are amazing. Yeah, they're chocolate covered cookie doughs, so you can freeze them and they get nice and they're just delicious. And you can have them obviously at the movie theater. But yeah, that's my go-to for me and my sister. Sidetrack, but yeah, just get that butter popcorn, just watch it, man. Like I'm down just to see like how they interpret this universe and really the story itself because they were throwing a lot in there, man. Like they are absolutely not going by Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, No, they're going Uncharted 4 and then a little bit of Uncharted 3. Actually, a lot of Uncharted 3 that was in that trailer. And then definitely Uncharted 4. Absolutely. So I'm interested to see like what they do and how they make it different and fun overall. And as far as the casting choice, it does throw me off a little bit because Tom Holland, he's not young, but he has a baby face. He absolutely has a baby face, so it kind of throws me off a little bit.
Just like Drake.
Drake, I can see like this man's like in his mid-30s. Tom Holland still like he's 18.
But he can fool you. He can be like, yeah, I'm 31, and he's like 47. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's a lot like Nolan North.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, and then when it comes to Sully himself. I don't know, I feel like I really need to just watch the movies in order to actually judge, man. Just because he does, I think you're right, Will, where he kind of gives out that vibe that it's like a world you don't want to mess around in. But then he throws in little jokes here and there where they're trying to escape, and he's like, I can't go as fast because my ankle hurts. Like little stuff like that, where I'm just like, okay, he has like a couple of cool one-liners there. But I'm willing to see how they pull it off and whether, the stunts are as great as the games. So.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm definitely going to be there day one to see the movie.
Heck yeah, man. That's definitely a movie theater experience. Like,
yeah.
Those set pieces are going to be insane. Because, I mean, Uncharted in of its own, it's just a massive blockbuster experience, when it's like action sequences. Because they just go with the most insane, like, sequences. And it's in that specific one, I love that they chose the plane scene because that truly, to this day, in all the Uncharted, like that's one of the more like insane stunts in the Uncharted franchise. It's just bananas. It's so exhilarating.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chet, what do you think? Did you watch the trailer or?
Yeah, I watched the trailer. It looks. I think it looks good. I'm not like huge Uncharted. I played the first one, and I played literally the last mission of 3 because my ex couldn't beat it.
That's hilarious, actually.
So I like Uncharted, but like I'm not as knowledgeable as you guys, obviously. For me, like I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this has got to be like, this is the easiest transition to a movie ever. Like the game is an action movie. It's already an action movie.
Yeah.
All you guys got to do is translate it over.
Yeah,
There we go.
for sure.
And-
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be like an over the top action flick.
Heck yeah.
I'm fairly optimistic. I'm sure it'll be fine. I really don't see how. You have this formula and it works and it does good every single time. Just follow the formula. You got good actors. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, and Chad, here's the thing. When you tell me like, "Oh, we're making an Uncharted movie," I'm chill. I'm sleeping. I'm like, "Yeah, this will be fine. I can sleep well." But when you hear that Netflix is adapting One Piece, you're like, "Okay, one moment." Like,
Well, I think
you
about the Death Note. I think about Netflix
Yeah.
Death Note, and then I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yep.
you just start thinking about the atrocities of
Think
live
about
action.
everything that's going to go wrong.
Exactly. Like the Avatar Last Airbender Netflix show. Like we just saw how the creators left because of creative differences. Now I'm like, wait a minute. I don't want to be wait a minute. I want to be down for the ride.
I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they jumped ship and now they're gonna do their own. I think what
They
streaming
did their own
service they're going
studio.
on. Yeah, they're going to studio. I forgot what streaming service is gonna be a part of. Maybe Peacock or something. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I think so. I know it's just Avatar Studios, and they're working like on a feature film, a feature length film. But yeah, like when you hear stuff about when you hear stuff like that happening behind the scenes, you start to worry. But with Uncharted, again, I'm not worried. There are a lot of people. When you hear, Chris Pratt as Mario, you're like, how does that work? Like, you don't know what to expect, But I don't know. I'll just wait and see. I'm not gonna complain because I'll lose energy complaining. There's no real reason. There's people that thrive of it. I don't have that energy. I don't.
No, I feel that.
Yeah. No.
I'm sure to have a good time.
Yeah. Soul, tell us about your opinions about Uncharted trailer.
Look, man, it looks like a generic action flick. I think Chet alluded to it. It looks like a generic action flick. One that you've probably seen like 100 times already. Nothing from that trailer was like damn, like I need to go see this, day one or anything like that. And like that's okay. Like I know what I'm getting into with this, because like Uncharted doesn't necessarily have like the most amazing stories, but it's always about the characters first and foremost. So like yeah, like I feel like I know what I'm getting into with this. My biggest thing is that like, look, man, I am so fucking tired of people, these like armchair nerds, man, pushing up their glasses and saying well Sully is missing the third hair on his eyebrow. That's not how he looked like in the game. I'm like, who cares, man? As if Sully's mustache is like, what makes that character good or anything like that. Like I'm so sick and tired of like, if these characters don't have A, B, C, or D, then it's like the worst thing in the world, man. Like I'm like, yeah, I don't know, that stuff just like really, really annoys me, man.
Yeah.
I'm more like we've barely, like I don't know how to feel about Sully yet, because like what we've seen from him has been so minimal. So like yeah, I don't know, like I obviously need to see more from him, but at the same time, like I'm totally okay and fine with these actors taking these characters, and like if this is the case, I'm totally okay with them taking them in a new direction or having their own take with these characters, as long as it's not something like drastically different, as long as Sully's not like an asshole or whatever. But like yeah, that's like, this obviously isn't Richard McGonagall, this isn't Nolan North, so obviously we should expect these characters to be a little bit different and not be like their game counterparts, because that would be boring. We've already experienced those characters. If this was just a one-to-one recreation of like the games, then that would be boring, because yeah, we've already experienced those stories. So like I'm totally like, I'm interested to see, okay, yeah, what does a Tom Holland Nathan Drake look like? What does a Mark Wahlberg Sully look like? I'm intrigued by that at the very least. Is it gonna be good? I don't know. Is it gonna be bad? I don't know. But at the very least, I'm interested to see like what new can they bring to these characters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm intrigued. Yeah, we're intrigued. And to your point, to how people look at the most absurd comparisons and just complaints. It's like when you get an anime adapted from a manga and people complain about a panel and they're like, no, but he actually had more like darker shades of red on his right eye, and I'm like, dude, like
it was
who
the same
gives
thing.
a
It was
shit?
the same thing with The Witcher with Triss. Everyone was like, "Oh, but Triss doesn't have her red hair from the games," and I was like, "Who cares, man? Who
a shit? Like,
cares?"
just look at the character. Look how good the character is. Like that's
Yeah, I
all.
love that Triss too. Actually, I love her in the
Yeah,
show. She's
she's
so cool.
freaking badass. And here's the thing, like my big thing with the trailer is just that, yeah, because I'm so Uncharted is so focused on characters in my mind. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to like find out more about how they're gonna go with these characters. But the action, I trust the action. The action is gonna be, it's nonstop fun. Yeah, like Macho said, it's popcorn, popcorn flick fun. It's like when a new Fast and the Furious movie is announced, I'm not like, oh my god, riveting story. No, I'm like, heck yeah, cars and crash and boom boom. Like I don't know, like I'm just down for the ride. No pun intended.
Yeah.
You know?
My other thing is that like with this trailer, and I think people like Chet are a good example, is that like the people who may not be as familiar with Uncharted, I feel like this trailer didn't really do anything to like convince that segment of the audience, or give them a good enough reason to come and check out this movie. Like I still think like the biggest selling point is just like Tom Holland is in this. Like I think that's probably the biggest thing that they're hanging their hat on. But like I don't think anything in this trailer, to the casual movie going audience who may not be familiar with the games, I don't think it really gave those people like a reason, that you need to go out and check out Uncharted. Obviously we'll check it out because we're fans of the games and whatnot. But yeah, for everyone else, I don't know if this trailer was really successful in converting those people or whatever.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing. It definitely didn't make me want to go back play the games. That's for sure. I played through those games and I love them for what they are, but Lara Croft is better. Just saying.
Oh man. Hey man,
Oh, wow.
I played Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I don't know about that, man.
Oh, not even that one, my man. Not even that one. Tomb Raider Legends, the old Tomb Raider games. I'm all about that.
Oh,
So
about that.
Lara Croft in general better than Nathan Drake?
No. I mean, I'm kind of just bullshitting around, but
No. We can bullshit away because people get mad. I love getting people mad.
no, no, I think Lara Croft just has a kind of like a messy legacy. It's legacy nonetheless because
Angel
she's
of Darkness,
iconic.
man.
Yeah, it's just iconic video game character. But yeah, I think the Uncharted games for sure like kind of have a more polished tone to them. Even if the stories aren't amazing, I think there's still a lot of fun to play. But yeah, besides that, I wouldn't necessarily go back to them. I'm not like, oh, I have to play Uncharted now. I got the urge. Like, no, I never really had the urge after I finished playing them.
There's only one Uncharted that's always made me have an urge to play it again, and it's always been Lost Legacy. There's always been something about wanting to play more with Chloe and know more about her and just see her in AD in action. I'm more compelled to return back to that than I am to the Nathan Drake saga.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a good game too. That's a good game. I played it. It was fun.
Yeah, and it's more. I think it's the fact that it's more concise and it's more like cohesive in that sense. From the get go, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. With Uncharted, again fantastic games, all four of them, but there are sections where I'm like, you know what, I could do with doing this. Like, I don't wanna like do wave battle again. I don't wanna like fight like 20 dudes coming in like 3 times. I don't know. There are moments where I'm just like, you know what? I'm like kind of over it. But I love the games. They're fantastic games, great games.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, definitely worth playing through once at least.
Absolutely. But yeah, Uncharted trailer.
Yeah.
Trailer.
Yeah. So that comes out in February. This is the first PlayStation Productions movie, so I'm interested to see how it's gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Soul in regards to that, I don't think if it was this week, but speaking of PlayStation properties getting movie and series, there have been more pictures of Pedro Pascal and on the set and Last of Us, and it's so far beautiful. Like how the images are just looking fantastic, and I cannot wait for that one. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they have their set designers are masters of their craft. You can tell just by the pictures.
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on and talk about we can go to Elden Ring, man. Let's talk about Elden Ring because
Rip.
we got information that that's getting a beta pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
and
network
I
test.
signed
then
up for it.
yeah, and then it's
Same.
also getting like a 1 month delay as well. So
Yep.
what's everyone's thoughts about the delay?
Dark Souls 3 with a jump button.
Man, that was crazy.
Bro, I mean, okay,
No,
dedicated.
we're all
Hey,
excited for Elden Ring here, but yeah, it's. Did everybody see that delay coming? First of all,
No,
was
I
that in our
didn't.
foresight?
I didn't.
No.
No,
Oh man.
I thought January was the lock. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Is From usually have they been known to delay their titles? Because I feel like they don't really delay much, do
I
they?
don't think they usually delay. I think they pretty much have had a good track record of
Right?
just making decent time frames.
Yeah,
mhm.
that was my expectation with this one as well. So, but yeah, obviously, the pandemic and whatnot.
Yeah,
So
because of that, like during these times, if there's a delay, I'm less surprised and I'm more,
Yeah, same.
off
Same.
up down for it. Games that
Yeah.
don't delay usually end up in fire. Because
Yeah, especially with the PvP stuff, because that's really what kind
yeah.
of like what they're testing here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they emphasized, and when they're describing the game, and literally the description of the game, it emphasizes how the world will feel as though you are like surrounded by other players and like you interact with other players. Like, so I guess that they're making it very seamless, not so much where. I mean, again, I don't know what they're doing. Do you see phantoms of other people? I don't know if maybe you encounter other people like seamlessly, or if you just randomly run into people. Uh, but yeah, they're doing a network test, and maybe that's why they also delayed it. Because yeah, they are working on refining it. Hey man, I'm good with the delay. Because that's one of my most anticipated games of next year. Like truly, if not the most anticipated game for me. So I'm down for it. Down for the count.
yeah, Chad, what did you think about it?
Um, I'm always down for a delay. I'd rather just the game be complete and fix your bugs, take your time. I'm never gonna
Right.
complain about a delay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
What's your overall like hype level for the game?
I mean, I like Souls games, so I'm with it. Elden Ring seems good. I think they had George Martin do
Yeah.
world building and stuff. So
Yeah,
if anybody can make a interesting world, that's the guy.
yeah, for
Very
sure.
true. Very
And
true.
and I think Miyazaki specifically mentioned how he was a major part in developing the bosses, and the bosses in this game are like and not they've always been in the Souls game, but in this case they're very much intertwined with the world, and George R. R. Martin was very much behind the creation of these bosses, and I think they went boss and environment, not so much environment and boss, like in their development or something like that. I'm excited, man. George R. R. Martin, he's a master of his craft, and so is Miyazaki. Perfect duo.
Yeah,
Perfect
I
duo.
think it's going to be a good combination.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My
A lot of
I
depth.
just hope that the areas are more interesting than Dark Souls 3. That's my only hope, man.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It,
hope the
that,
world is really connected like the first Dark Souls was,
Yeah.
because part of the first Dark Souls that made the exploration so good is and it's like it felt like you were all over the place.
Definitely.
Um,
Yeah,
I mean,
it
not in a bad way. It was a great game. I love
yeah,
Dark
yeah,
Souls
yeah.
3,
I still enjoyed it. But yeah, it was missing that sort of like interconnectivity that like, Yharnam
yeah,
had, for instance. Or yeah, Dark Souls 1 for sure.
Yeah, man.
I guess Demon Souls was kind of like a similar thing where yeah, it definitely felt like you were
Demon Souls was very like linear. It had its
yeah.
couple areas, and you went through them.
Yeah, but at the same time, like it was cool, like because like each archstone had like multiple areas within them. So like,
and the thematic on each archstone was very strong.
right. So yeah, I like Demon Souls areas a bit better than Dark Souls 3. But yeah. So yeah, I definitely hope that Elden Ring kind of carries that over. But since you just mentioned the fact that it is open world, I would imagine that yeah, it is going to have that interconnectivity. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. February, guys, like, why is everyone dropping their games in February?
Dying Light 2, Horizon Forbidden West, and now Elden Ring.
Sifu,
Sifu 2, yep.
something else
Valentine's
in there.
Day, man, because it's the month of love, and they love us.
Yeah,
Apparently.
I love video games.
I love them so much, I'm willing to spend it away from my loved ones. This is exactly how it works. Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. I think the delay is absolutely warranted, especially given like the time stuff like that, but also because of what Elden Ring is essentially shaping up to be, from what I can remember from like preview stuff like that, where they say it is more of kind of an open world-ish feel, where like everyone's gonna have like their own different kind of stories to tell of who they encountered and when. So I feel like people are gonna be playing this game for a while, and then at the same time, that so many games are coming out during that time, and it kind of sucks. It seems like Horizon can't get a break from big games that are releasing the same time frame, because it released Breath of the Wild released just around the same time the first one did, and now Elden Ring and all these other awaited games are coming out when it's coming out. But the only difference here is that Horizon is an absolutely monster of a franchise now compared to what it was when it first released.
100%.
Yeah, they established themselves.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think they'll be fine. I would be if I was Saints Row, I would be worried.
Always Saints Row come out in February.
The same day as Elden Ring.
Yo,
Oh, they're
Hey,
gonna get
yo.
trash.
Oh gosh.
I would be
Maybe they want
Yikes.
to push that back a little.
yeah. If I was Deep
If
Silver
I was
right
any
now.
developer, if I was any developer releasing at the same time as Elden Ring, I'd just push my game back.
Yeah. If I was Deep Silver right now, I'd be quivering in my boots right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's and honestly, I don't think Saints Row looks that bad, man. I might actually
looks
give
fun.
Yeah, I might actually
Yeah.
give it a
a
shot.
long time since Saints Row's come out.
Yeah.
a longest time.
It's like
And
really off people's radar these days.
For whatever reason, I'm like I was watching the gameplay on Game Informer, and for whatever reason, I was like, you know what? I kind of miss just open world, kind of modern day. Getting in cars, shooting, beating up random people on the street. I kind of miss just a game like that. Like I don't know.
Yeah, because God forbid GTA lets you do that.
yeah, GTA 5, man.
Bro, that came
No,
out.
I mean,
That came out like a decade ago.
yeah.
But no, it came out this year.
Yeah,
Didn't
they
they
still got a
re-release
couple
it?
more releases to do though.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
No, I kind of I'm with you on that, so because I was never really a GTA guy, but for some reason jumping to Saints Row 3, not really having any kind of history with the franchise, I loved it. I loved how goofy it was and how it didn't really take itself seriously, but when it did, it had some really like awesome like fun battles and kind of really cool moments, and the music selection was dope, man. They had a really great music selection with Saints Row 3. Any game that you
smack
can slap
people.
around people with a big ass dildo, it's like it's
Yeah,
always a
there we
fun
go.
time.
And you get
Honestly.
street naked around the freaking road. And,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
like,
That's a fun game, man.
Dude, you can legit just like when you run towards people, you can like do the Black Widow like scissor around the neck and like slam into the floor. Like,
Yeah.
do that naked. It's like just
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a fun. I think that was really one of the. Yeah, I actually platinumed that game on PlayStation because I liked it so much.
because it's a hell lot of fun, man. Saints Row,
Yeah.
it is like it's fun. That's the core of that franchise for me always. It's just the mindless fun that I have and just a good time. And the story is so wacky and the characters are, I think, are memorable enough to where I care about them to some extent when I'm playing it. But like, I'm down for the new Saints Row. I'm probably gonna pick it up, not maybe day one, but like a week after.
that's the key right there, Walt. Not day one. That's the problem that they're facing. Yeah, that's the problem that they're facing that month.
Whenever I beat Elden Ring for Horizon and what other game was coming out?
Sifu,
like whenever I beat
Dying Light 2.
Whenever I beat Dying Light, once I beat co-op with Macho and all that, then I'll play Saints Row.
That's unfortunate for my savings account, man, because I actually want to play like all those games. Like I'm no pun intended. I'm dying to play Dying Light 2. Obviously, I'm going to play Elden Ring. Obviously, I'm going to play Horizon. I really want to play Sifu as well. And then Saints Row is like, it's actually looking like pretty decent to me as well. So like, that's 5 games, man, in like a span of like 1.5 weeks. That's pretty nuts.
Man, you better start saving your pennies right now.
Yeah, man, go look under the couch in between the cushions.
Okay, that's at least $300 you're potentially going to be spending that 1 month.
Jesus.
Bro. And I'm thinking
and overtime, baby.
Yeah. Bro. And I'm thinking of getting the collector's edition for Horizon.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Are you really? Were we talking bad junk how you can't get like the physical copy in the collector's edition?
Hey yo.
Unless you guys are talking about the special edition.
Yeah,
you're talking about the special edition.
I'm talking about the special edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I got the collector's edition for the first game. So like I have an Aloy statue, and then like I saw the collector's edition for this one, and I don't want no goddamn woolly mammoth up on my shelf, so I'm a
woolly mammoth on top.
Yeah, that thing's
and
huge
the little
too.
Aloy.
That thing is huge.
Yeah, it's a mammoth, Macho.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Hey, yo, no, I if I get a collector's, it'll be an Elden Ring one if they got one.
Yeah, I want to see what they got for that. I think that'd be a cool.
Do they usually do
statue.
Collector's editions?
Yeah, Souls has. They did a Dark Souls 3 one and a Sekiro.
Yeah.
I got the Sekiro one with the statue.
Yeah, they did. I don't remember one for Bloodborne, but I know they did one for Sekiro.
Yeah, Sekiro and Dark Souls 3, and then there was a collection that brought all of Dark Souls games, and I think it brought like the Soul of Cinder or something.
That'd be a cool statue.
He was a chump.
It is, yeah. It was a chump, yeah.
You have the statue on your bookshelf. You look at it like, you bitch.
This fight.
Yeah.
Not you.
No, I'm actually trying to think who gave me the most trouble in that game. I don't remember. But it certainly wasn't him.
Fucking Dancer.
Dancer actually wasn't that bad.
King.
Wasn't that bad?
No, Dancer and Nameless King.
Nameless King actually wasn't that bad either, man. I feel like...
Shut up.
No, for real. He wasn't that bad.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he wasn't that bad.
Listen, you're talking to the same guy that beasted Returnal in 7 deaths. Ain't that price?
No, to be honest, like I know I just called Soul Cinder a chump, but I actually think I died more to Soul Cinder than Nameless King.
That's why he's a chump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's the final boss. I think that for Dark Souls General, I was thinking of the core game, including DLCs. With Macho and I, we had the most trouble with Gael.
Yeah, that was so much fun, though. Oh my god.
It was so much fun. That's
we
the
stood up
final,
until like 2 in the
boss.
morning doing all that. That was incredible.
And you have to play it, the DLCs, man.
Yeah, it's great.
The DLCs for 3 were so good.
Yeah,
Right,
dude. Oh my gosh.
I missed.
Chad, you gotta tell this man to play it.
I missed my
Soul
window.
didn't-
I missed my window.
You missed your window, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not cap, man. It's the same thing that happened with Neo 2, man. Once you are like invested into like those games for like weeks on end, and you're thinking about nothing but those games, like there's like a certain language with these types of games, and if you take a long break of like not playing them, then you just like forget. Like especially with like I
you're
brought
right,
up
you're right.
I brought up Neo because like I spent like 142 hours in that game, and then I forget
Jesus.
what game came out, but like it completely took me away. I think it was Persona 5 Royal, and then like Last of Us was like right after that. So like I didn't touch Neo for like 2 months, and then I tried going back to it, and I was like, I don't know how to play this game. I was like, I forgot how to play this game.
What do I do?
Yeah. So I feel
Okay.
like, I feel like if I was to jump immediately into, like Sister Freed, man, I would, yeah, hell no.
Yeah, man,
Then-
yeah. She'll turn your mister into a sister real quick if you don't know how to play that game.
Yeah,
That's a fact, dude.
That ain't
she's,
happening.
yeah, she's crazy.
No, but so if you haven't, I think you have played. You haven't played Sekiro, right?
No, I haven't.
Then, dude, if anything, if you're not gonna play
Oh,
DLC,
man, yeah.
dude, play Sekiro. man.
Yeah, Sekiro's incredible.
Sekiro's a phenomenal, and it's a fresh new take on the Souls formula. So you won't necessarily be like diving into something that you took a break from.
Yeah, Chad, I'm actually wondering. You're definitely a Souls guy, but have you played Sekiro?
No, I haven't played Sekiro.
Oh wait, yeah, you did say that before, man. Yeah, see, you guys gotta play Sekiro, man.
Yeah, Chad, and so like
That's a good one.
Sekiro, it's different enough and like that, and it's so good. It's just so good. It's so fast. It's hard. It's different. It's memorable as heck. The boss
Yeah,
battles are.
it has that Souls DNA, but it's much more of a rhythm game, and with its
Yes.
combat. And when it sings, man, it sings, and it feels so good pulling off the stuff. in
Oh
that game.
yeah, dude, that it goes full soprano. Like it doesn't. It just blows your ears off. And the story's actually really good. Like I
Yeah,
enjoyed the
yeah.
story, and got different endings, different bosses, and I think that Sekiro definitely has a boss that is on par with, for me, in difficulty as the Orphan of Cause and which is Ishin Saint, the final boss of the true ending, where he reincarnates. Macho, what was his name? Ishin the Saint or something like that? Ishin
I think
Saint?
so. Yeah.
The dude that he gets out of his nephew's just neck, and he is born like anew. Oh my god, that motherfucker. But Orphan of Cause is still by far my most detested memory in a boss battle, because it's so hard, so fucking hard.
But it makes me wonder, how Elden Ring is gonna differ from itself.
I hope it's hard as
I
heck.
mean, there's
I
they were talking about sort of it being open world and whatever. There's you can skip some bosses, which is pretty cool. Or it seems like there's not necessarily like an order to the bosses. Like you can kind of almost like the original Zelda kind of tackle these things out of order. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that is
I
cool.
like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude. I'm doing everything though. I'm not skipping nothing.
So
Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be addicting. So I'm excited for either way. February can't come soon enough with all these great games.
we were talking about Saints Row for a little bit, so this kind of ties into the GTA trilogy or whatever remaster thing that's coming out. Obviously a trailer came out. What did you guys think about the comparisons between the original versions and this new one?
Markedly impressed.
Oh,
If it, I say that knowing full well I am not paying for this game. I'm not playing this game whatsoever. But yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed, even if the main character looks like a Fortnite guy.
Like Jones.
Yeah, I'm actually it's actually pretty impressive that they're actually doing some justice with their remasters here. I feel people are excited. I just want to say keep that same energy when it comes to other collections that other publishers have done. But yeah, $60, man, 60 full blown dollars. I see people justifying it. It's $20 each. It makes perfect sense. Stop it. Stop it.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
but you're just gonna get and play San Andreas.
Yeah.
true.
Absolutely facts. Yeah, absolutely facts. And actually, from what I've seen too, the two most popular games in that realm, GTA 3 and San Andreas, one's going to Game Pass and the other's going to PS Now. So
there you go.
There's also that conundrum of Rockstar being mad petty and be like, you're only gonna get one game in this collection to put on your service.
Rockstar is they're playing smart, man. I bet they're making
Yeah, you're right.
off it.
You're right. You're right.
They're
Easily.
like, yeah, bid war. Who wants it?
Yeah, you want San Andreas on Game Pass? $100 billion.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know for sure that PlayStation got the short end of the stick when it came to that deal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Game Pass has freaking San Andreas, arguably, like, to this day, what many people consider the absolute best GTA, even better than GTA 5, and that's just today's mentality of today.
Yeah, that's saying a lot.
So imagine now, do all of them do they all have equal worth? I don't think so. A lot of people see them, one or the other worth more than the other. But $60, if you justify that with being 20 each, it's like, I don't know, man.
I think that's clown behavior. I think that's absolute clown behavior to even say that.
There's been a lot of I was about to say something that would have been a major pause, so I'm not going to say that. But a lot of people have been corporate defending these corporations or making excuses, or jumping through hoops to justify some things that happened this week. Macho, you know where I'm going with this?
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Let's
get it, baby.
Okay, so let's talk about PlayStation announced on, I think it was Thursday, that God of War is going to be hitting PC.
Yes, sir. Seal's back. Seal's back.
So this and continued on with their day. They didn't bat an eye and they said, okay, cool, that's cool, and they moved on. But then there's some others that were not too pleased about this. So first of all, I mean, just want to get your thoughts. What was everyone think about? I mean, this is pretty cool, right? God of War is going to another platform. A bunch of other people are going to get to play this or experience this game for the first time. That's pretty cool.
You mean to tell me I get to play God of War on the go with the Steam Deck? Is that what you're telling me? Come on.
Yeah.
Wild. The true successor to Vita.
17 frames a second?
Oh, man.
Facts. On that ugly ass LCD screen. Get that shit out of here. We got OLED, baby.
Bro, let me tell you. When you tell me that more people get to experience the greatness that is God of War, do it. Like, just come on, man. PC, that beauty 60 FPS, just fucking.
Yeah, but to be honest, I love that I have this conundrum where I have a more than capable PC of running this game with its full features of DLSS and the whole gambit, right? Of just options are there on PC, and I can play it on my monitor at 120 frames per second, or I can play it on my big screen OLED at upscaled 4K, 60 frames locked on PS5.
Chef's kiss.
Like, come on, man. You can't hate that. That's the best of both worlds. And either way, you're getting an amazing game, an amazing technical aspect. Either way, so I feel like this is an absolute win. This is Jim Ryan seeing all the people cry on Twitter. He's literally taking his $100 bills, his $1,000 bills or pounds rather, his $1,000 pounds, and just wiping his tears away. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. He's absolutely raking in the dough, man. Absolutely raking the dough. It's the smartest move.
Yeah.
Bro, the mods.
And to couple with that, I'm sorry, Will, to interrupt, but to couple with that, on the God of War, it's selling nearly 20 million units already.
Yeah, that's nuts.
In 3 years. That's Nintendo level, boys.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's
man.
Nintendo level.
I mean that puts it up with you have to imagine that Spider-Man PS4 is definitely because I think the last number we got was 16 million for that, or 18. It was something ridiculous like that. Uncharted 4, the last number we got for that was 16 million, and then Horizon, I think the last number we got for that was 10 million. So God of War is it's pretty crazy, man.
No, it's nuts, and I can't even imagine what Miles. They haven't announced the numbers for Miles, but you had to imagine it's pretty large now because Miles has been on the NPD charts ever since it released, and
Yeah.
it's still sticking like within the top 10, if not the top 5.
Rightfully
Yeah,
so.
for sure. And then I think
Rightfully so.
I could have sworn they actually gave an update like not too long ago, because that was the same time that they said Returnal sold like 560,000 units. Ratchet did
Yeah.
like 1.1, and then MLB did like 2.2. Anyway, whatever. It's not that important. But yeah, so God of War hitting PC. It's just funny to me, man. The sort of like the goalpost moving that these people are doing to like justify, in their heads. Well, it's not day and date. Well, you guys are getting like the sloppy seconds and stuff like that, man. Like it's just so weird to me, man. Like who cares if a game that you played 3 years ago, new people get to play it for the first time. Like it's just so weird to me,
Yeah, I
No,
don't know.
they're not happy.
I feel like you should be happy that more people are playing the game you like.
right?
Yeah,
That's the natural response, I feel like.
it should. But no,
It
they're
was for me whenever Kingdom Hearts was going into like the new era of consoles. All these people that weren't able to play 358 or Code or anything like that back in the day on the DS because they couldn't. They didn't have the console. Now they can play it on PS3, they can play it on PS4, Xbox, and now PC. Like absolutely, play these games.
Yeah.
Give more money.
Absolutely.
Give more money so that the next game can be made. Please.
That's
I implore you.
that's another thing about this is that like I'm sure you guys have seen this whole argument that people are making that like, oh, this is bad for Sony. Like, what are they doing? Like,
all the time. All the time.
yeah, yeah. It's like it's so, at least in my mind. I don't know about you guys, but it's like it's so simple to me. Like, if more people get to buy these games, isn't that more money in Sony's pocket at the end of the day? Like, like no matter where you buy, if you do buy it on PC, like if you wait for the PC release or if you buy it on PlayStation, like that's still money in Sony's pocket, which will at the end of the day funnel into more first party games. So like I don't see or understand why this would be a bad thing for them.
It's not. It's and also that's if you put a game on PC. Okay, let's say you put Uncharted, right? You put Uncharted 4. The case is that they're all going to be there. You put Uncharted 4. People are interested on PC. Oh my god, I want to play the other ones. Oh, I can only play them on PlayStation. Buy a PlayStation. Like there are certain games that you'll have on PC, like God of War. What if the people get interested in the original God of Wars? Oh, I need to go play. Where can I play them? Oh, let me get a PS4. Oh, let me just get PS Now. Like I don't know. Like it makes them think more Sony. Hence, it leads them to buy more Sony properties and more Sony games and just get invested with them. And that's why do people act like entitled brats? Like it's me. It's all about me. No, you dipshit. It's not all about you. You're not the only human being in this world. Like there's 8 billion of us. 7 billion, almost 8 billion of us.
Yeah.
We're trying to enjoy the same shit here. Like more accessibility of gaming. It's like Game Pass. It's like when you have a title on Game Pass and you hear people like the other way around, where it's like it's on Game Pass. Ugh, I don't want to buy it because it's a trash game. It's like no, like the mentality. Whenever you think people are gonna react one way, you see them just react the complete opposite, and it's so bizarre. Like how selfish can you be? It's video games. It's let people have fun.
Yeah, it's because to play devil's advocate, it's the mentality of well, it's on other stuff, so it's not as special. And to me, that's obviously a really dumb mentality.
It is,
and a
'cause it
selfish
is.
mentality.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really they're coming from it, and I don't agree with it whatsoever. I think that's completely ludicrous to even think that. Because at the end of the day, we're all gaming. We want you to love what we love, you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't love it as much as we do, then at least like you gave it a chance anyway. And I think that's really all gamers and developers really want, man. We want more people to game and have fun, and that includes putting on other platforms. And yeah, by all means, is it going to reach like is the PlayStation going to be played on Xbox? I highly doubt it, but you know. We'll see how it goes.
Because let me ask you, like when you to that point, right? That mentality that you mentioned. Yes, I understand what that mentality is. I don't agree with it. It's the same as you, and it's bizarre because when you play a game, when I play a game, I play the game because I like the game, and I'm gonna keep investing my time in this game and talk about the game that I love. I'm not over here like looking to the side like, oh, is he playing it too? No, but only I want to play it. Like, who? What are you? Who does that?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like it devalues my console because it makes my exclusives not exclusive anymore. That's what it is.
People's people's personal issues are not the company's problems. Like, if you have a complex where you feel insecure enough, where you feel less valued because a game is another console, you don't play games. Just go, I don't know, go to NASCAR or something. Like, watch cars. I don't fucking know. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, Jim Ryan talked about it on that GI Live interview that, like, you know, probably, you know, at best these games will sell like 20 million at most, right? And that's like such a small number compared to like when you take into account like how many gamers are, you know, actually playing games, right? Like it's probably like in the billions. You know, especially when you take into account like people just playing, you know, I don't know, Candy Crush on their phone or whatever, right? So like obviously you want to reach, you know, you want to kind of break, you know, outside of just like the limited like console number and reach like of course they would want God of War to sell like 20 million is great, but like if it sold like 50 million, like hell yeah, you know, there's no reason why, you know, like obviously they would want to do that. So yeah, it makes, I mean, in my mind, it makes absolute sense. Yeah, let's put it on PC like a year or a couple years after its initial release. And what's even smarter is that they're doing it relatively close to the release of like the next game, right? So like Ragnarok is coming out in 2022. So yeah, let's put out the first game on PC at the beginning, you know, before Ragnarok is out to kind of entice those PC gamers. So like, hey, if you really want to play, you know, the next one that badly, then you have to get a PlayStation. That probably won't work for everyone, but like it's, you know, it might play a factor for some people. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So in terms of topics, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? I mean, I guess PS5. We should know that PS5. This is the first month that a console not named the Nintendo Switch won the USMPD. The Switch had like a 33-month run, and PlayStation 5 finally beat that record. So that was something that happened. But yeah, is there anything else?
Sounds to me like people are finding PS5s okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk
I mean, you're right. I didn't think about that. People are finding PS5s okay, you know?
Yeah. I
They're
think
reaching.
the Switch OLED had a pretty big impact on that as well.
about? Yeah, for sure. I would imagine, yeah, I would imagine that this month they'll the Nintendo Switch will be right back on top because of the OLED.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm looking for an OLED. I cannot find one. I cannot. Like,
There's a part shortage, isn't there?
there is.
Yeah.
And I heard when I was I think it was Best Buy or someone talking about how there was a moment where Apple bought X amount of chips and hence caused a shortage back for, I think it was for the 13, I think the 13 Pro or something, one of their flagship phones, and hence caused everyone else to have a shortage in other components. I mean, hey, I'm glad when I hear the console's sold out. I'm semi-glad because, you know, it's reaching an audience, but, you know, it won't stop scalpers. I mean, that's just part of life. But I'm glad that people, this list has in very places that I have never seen them. You know, Walmart, Best Buy, like they have found PS5s. More power to them. Hey, join us. It's pretty good. We're eating good here, you know.
So there's two things that I wanted to mention also that I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
saw. Well, actually, yeah, I did send it to you guys. That Kano Bridge of Spirits, man, it recouped its development cost already, and then they also mentioned that Sony is very happy with the reception of the game, or like the I guess just like the overall sales. So that's really really cool, man, for a studio, first game, for it to already make its money back. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, Kena is one of my
Yeah,
favorite
man.
games of the year, so yeah, that's definitely good. And then they also mentioned that they are now a full-time game studio. They're not going to be making commercials or fan films anymore. Like now they are like 100% committed to making games now, which is awesome.
Sweet. Love to hear it.
Yeah, I'm excited
Exciting,
to
man.
play it in November, man. I'm really pumped to, especially after hearing what you said about it, Soul. I'm excited to play it. I'm kind of down for that kind of adventure and just have like a kind of PS2 era kind of vibe to it, and to see the success and to see that they recoup the cost already, man, you love to see it. Indie devs doing great on PlayStation.
See
Um,
indie devs do well.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, man.
definitely. Um, there was actually one I wanted to ask you guys this because I was just watching, like, I watch a lot of like video game retrospectives and like deep dive like analysis and things of that nature on YouTube, and I was watching one for Sleeping Dogs, and I had never played the game before, but like just watching the gameplay and some of like the cutscenes and just watching it, I was like, man, I actually think I'm gonna buy this game. It looks really really cool. It looks like, and and Walt, don't get mad at me, but it looks like
What?
gameplay wise, it looks like a more interesting Yakuza.
Hey, man. I
You say
agree.
Sleeping Dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sleeping
Sleeping
Dogs.
Dogs, dude. Sleeping Dogs is a pun intended sleeper hit. You gotta play it.
Absolutely. So the
It's one of my favorite
I don't
games.
hate you. I don't hate you for that.
100%.
I honestly, I'm proud that you say that because Sleeping Dogs truly, like Macho says, it's a sleeper hit, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about it nowadays. I get it; it's a bit of an old title, but it sucks because I think the studio, I think they shut down and they
Yeah.
couldn't continue with. I would have loved to see a continuation to that world and story and characters. You should definitely play it, man, dude. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. That's one of my like favorite. It might be my top 10, one of my top 10 video games of all time. It truly have a blast. The world, the combat, the cutscenes, the story, the dichotomy in between the gangster world and the the underworld and your life as an undercover cop and it's in Hong Kong, I believe, right? You don't really have games like centered across like specifically in Hong Kong in that regard to where you focus on the actual culture and the like the urban life of it. Um, I'm glad, man, and
Yeah,
definitely
it's a
give
ton of
it
fun. I love
when
it.
you give it a shot. Try the Halloween DLC, the horror
Yeah,
DLC.
that's a cool one. That's a cool
It's a
one.
lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that's one of the games I actually played on PS3, beat, and I think I got the platinum trophy in it. But I
Nice,
rebought it on PC, and it's still a ton of fun. It's great.
dude. It's so good. It's so good.
Nice, nice. Um, yeah, so last thing we can talk about before we head out is out of the blue, Sony announced that there's going to be a state of play next week. Uh, so it's only going to be 20 minutes long, so but there's like some third-party updates and reveals and stuff like that. So what are you guys expecting, and why won't we see a Final Fantasy 16 at this?
You're exactly right. I 100% agree with you. A lot of people are like, "This is the reason why I can come over." I'm just like, I love the excitement and the thrill you're all getting from trying to theory craft and pull up Reddit posts and all that jazz. But I don't be disappointed if it's not going to be when it's not there. I fully expect it to not be there because Final Fantasy 14 is just around the corner. And I get it, these are different games and they can do whatever they want in terms of announcements, but I just really don't see it being there, personally. I feel like 16 has its own spotlight.
Endwalker.
Yeah, exactly. When it's legit just like a month away and all that. But yeah, I mean, if we get a trailer, cool. I'll love it. Maybe like a better gameplay snippet. But I really think that Yoshida, who's like the director of 16 now, I think it is, or the producer, one of those two. He's also the producer of 14. Made it very clear that he's gonna show when he's ready. And Square Enix kind of trusts that man to do what he needs to do because he made the most profitable Final Fantasy in the company's history. So let the man work. Let the man do what he needs to do, and
let him do his thing.
Yeah. So I don't think 16 is going to be there. But as far as third party stuff,
yeah, what do you think is going to be there?
It's a good question.
I swear to God, if Ghostwire Tokyo is there, I'm turning off the stream.
Oh yeah. Or Deathloop Director's Cut.
Could you imagine? It's like Jim Ryan starts the state of play. You guys thought you saw the last Deathloop, huh?
Play yourself.
I know. I don't really know what kind of third party stuff can be there. Other than I think Elden Ring has a chance.
Maybe, yeah.
I think Elden Ring might have a chance after the play that they had, and they only have like a screenshot. I think we might get like a nice little gameplay reveal.
Maybe Stray, a cat one.
Yeah,
the cat game.
I think maybe we see. Oh my God, if we see fucking Forspoken again.
Bruh.
What was the game? Oh, Solar Ash.
Solar Ash, yes.
Because that's coming out soon, I think. I think we'll probably see like one last trailer for that. But aside from that, I have no idea what they can show. Chet, do you have any predictions as to what might be there?
I have no clue. I feel like anything big, they usually like Final Fantasy 16 something that they'd want to save for like a bigger presentation.
Yeah. That's why I'm not expecting too much.
And it's only 20 minutes, so it's probably going to be like a couple little third-party kind of things, and then like they're going to show off one bigger thing, like God of War or something, a little bit.
Another Among Us skin.
Yeah, it's gonna be 20 minutes of the new Among Us map.
Yeah, just a whole match. It's just a whole match. It's just gonna be a
whole game of Among Us, 20 minutes, and then in the last frame, they put a single screen cap from Elden Ring.
God.
Yeah, and then they put the bonfire in Among Us.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm kind of like scratching my head about, that this thing is only 20 minutes. Like, is it like I don't know, man.
It's just gonna be kind of smoke and mirrors as far as like announcements. Because in the blog it said that they are going to show off previously announced games.
Yeah, so I bet you that's gonna be like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands or some bullshit like that.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
No. What was this? I think Capcom was published. It was like
Pragmata.
Nah,
Pragmata.
I don't think we're gonna see that.
No. I mean, we haven't really heard anything about that.
Yeah. I mean, they announced it. They announced it in 2020, and they said right from the jump that this is a 2022 title. So like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if anything, on that Capcom round, probably like a DLC for Resident Evil Village.
Ooh, do you think we see? Okay, this is just like a wild shot, but do you think we actually see RE4? I mean, if you remember, RE3 was revealed at a State of Play.
I think a small teaser, like how that could be possible.
We just got a VR, the Oculus version of RE4.
That's what I was gonna say too. Actually, like RE4 for PSVR 2, or what people want initially RE8 VR.
So
I think that'd be cool.
So they can get captured in VR by Lady D.
Man, that's
what everybody wanted.
Yeah, that's one of those porn VR games, man. That's what you're talking about.
That's a different game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they already have that on PC.
Bro, they're gonna talk about SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. Let's talk about that game.
But
Yeah, so yeah, some of these previously announced stuff. Yeah, man, I was kind of hoping for maybe the indie darling, the GOAT Metroidvania, Hollow Knight,
Yo,
Silk
Silk
Song.
Song. Yo,
But-
nah,
That's
don't
gonna
do
be a
that,
Nintendo
Macho.
thing.
Yeah,
Macho. Nah.
yeah.
God dang it. Don't.
No, it's
don't.
not. It's not gonna be
Oh,
there, man. I'm
no, but
hoping
man-
just like I'm hoping it's anywhere at this point. But yeah,
I want
mean,
Silk Song already. Like
me
it's.
too.
Silk Song.
Yeah,
They,
I got my meme ready.
you guys, you guys be ready?
I got my
Yeah.
meme ready of Kamala Harris just that video of her being like, Joe, we did it, Joe.
Joe, we did it.
That's my meme. It's like, Joe, we finally got the Hollow Knight Silk Song release date, Joe. We did it.
oh,
Got my memes
yeah.
ready, man.
Babylon's Fall, maybe. I don't know.
God, I don't want to see that either.
Me neither. The vampire multiplayer
no,
game.
Yeah, not Babylon's
The-
Fall.
That's the problem, man. Most of these 30-party games I don't want to see.
You know what? Oh man, I mean, I don't know, man. Fortnite shit. I don't know, man. Honestly, like, whatever it is, I feel like we'll get at least one thing that we like. One,
Yeah,
just one. At least
yeah.
one.
I would be.
Yeah.
I would be very. I would feel like it was a big waste of time if. Well, actually, it's only 20 minutes, so it's like I feel like if I do end up watching it, then it's like okay, that's 20 minutes that I'll never get back. But then again, it's only 20 minutes, so like
Yeah.
I don't know if I could really call it a waste of time. But yeah, if I don't get like at least one thing that like knocks my goddamn socks off, then yeah, I'm gonna be like, well, that was that.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
Knack 3.
Knack 3, baby.
Knack 3, baby.
You know, speaking of Knack, I just watched this channel called MinMax. It's like a Patreon funded.
Oh yeah, the guys from Game Informer.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
They just did this like trivia thing where they actually got like a bunch of like different journalists from different YouTube channels and sites and whatnot. It was like this big crossover thing, and from Easy Allies, Kind of Funny, people from GameSpot, etc., etc. And it was basically like this big trivia thing, and like the first round of questions was like video game descriptions on the back of like the boxes. So you have to guess, what the game was based off of the description on the back of the game case, and one of them was Knack. It was so, and my guy Michael Huber from Easy Allies he immediately was like Knack. He got it right. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, man. So I guess that pretty much does it for the podcast. Great show. Chet, I want to thank you for joining us. Do you have anything that you want to plug?
Sure. Ergon on every game console, social media, everything under the sun, Twitch, you name it.
You're gonna need this guy for Monster Hunter Rise when releases on PC. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I'm no life in it.
Yeah, you put what 200-ish hours into it.
I put a lot into Rise.
You're gonna do the exact same thing on PC, right?
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
They already confirmed no cross save, so.
I'll be there with you, man. We'll start fresh. You can teach me your ways.
Yeah, I got you.
And before we head out, can you tell us what is your game of the year thus far for 2021?
All right. Putting Monster Hunter Rise aside because I'm biased, It Takes Two.
Oh.
Yes, my God. Yes.
No, that game, it was literally the best co-op experience I've ever had.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Like I was telling these guys before that Tales of Arise was so good that it's neck and neck with It Takes Two, and it might take the spot. But the thing is, It Takes Two is so unique, and it does so many things better than any other game this year. On top of being a co-op game, it's incredible.
That book, I just
Yeah, that book. Yeah, exactly.
get over him.
The gyrating book. Yeah. Hey, the love. Yeah, you gotta love it, man. It's so good.
Very interesting. Okay, man. Uh, do you have any other I mean, you mentioned Monster Hunter, but do you have any other standouts from this year?
Uh, let me hit my checklist of the games I've played.
Yeah, do the same thing.
I
It's
keep I
one of
keep
our
going.
ending podcast fellas. Is we gotta go through the games we beat. I think I got y'all beat this year.
Oh,
Um,
definitely, definitely.
oh, I gotta put it. Huge shout out to Binding of Isaac's Repentance DLC. It made it like tripled the content of the game. It was insane. It's so good. It's so difficult. Oh my lord, it's perfect in like every way.
Yeah,
Nice.
what's with developers, man? Not that it's a bad thing, but the fact that developers when they make the game and then they make the DLC, it's like 10 times as big. Like it's like a trend with all the indie devs I've seen. It's one with Stardew Valley, Hollow Knight. It's happened all the time. It's cool
Yeah,
though. I'm here for
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm all about it.
definitely. Um, okay, we are going to get started with these outros. Walt, why don't you kick things off, man? What's going on with you this week?
This week, my boy, we're gonna be playing more of that Tormented Souls. Might pick it up. Might pick up the actual game. I'm really digging it. Getting through this week, I might be getting through a bit more of Judgment. Because I want to get my hands on Lost Judgment. Really
Yes,
interested in
sir.
playing that. Uh, I've been trying to find moments where I'm not too caught up with a game that I want to play single player so that I can hop back on FF14. Um, because I gotta go ahead and take care of my girl over there, of my what was it, a fighter, my fighter. Um, I want to do more of that, play more, so I can get. I want to get to where I'm ready for Endwalker. I don't know if I'll make it to when it comes out, but I'm definitely having my agenda where as soon as I reach a certain point in FF14, I'm gonna like just pressure Macho into just playing with me every time I can. Uh,
Pressure, my man. You just have to ask, and I'm there.
uh, boy, boy, I'm above that bat signal, that Macho signal. And just
Exactly.
you can pop in. Um, but yeah, man, more Tales of Arise, Judgment. It's mainly JRPGs. And definitely just checking out um what's coming out to see if I can find my OLED, see if I can find the Switch OLED. I'm in the scouting phase of that. Can't wait to get my hands on it. But yeah, that'll be me and more college and shit.
Nice, nice. Macho, what about you, man?
Yeah, man. Final Fantasy 14 all day. Countdown to Endwalker, baby. We're ready. We are ready. My boy Chet here. He's getting through it. He's getting through it. We were having some good DMs on Final Fantasy 14 chatter and where you're at and stuff like that. I'm excited to see your guys' reactions, impressions to everything that goes on with that, especially for Walt here. He's still in the weeds of A Realm Reborn, but I'm excited to
Hmm.
see our reactions again. Let me guys know if you need some help. I know, Chet, you're on a different server. You're with a different group, but
Yeah.
regardless, man,
Oh, I can
if
still
you're
join
only
you guys. You can server switch, right?
yeah. Eventually, I think the thing they're doing in 6.0 is like world switching, where you can play with people from like different other like servers, like on different continents. But yeah, we can server switch and that we can
Yeah.
join up. But yeah, man, and for me, it's Lost Judgment. Getting through it slowly but surely. I love having it when my fiance's around, so that because she likes watching me play it and she's interested in the story, so I like to play it when she's here. And I think I'm on chapter 4 now. It's really good, man. It's huge step up from Judgment 1, as far as story pacing and dialogue and just overall fun factor. Um, and the gameplay is really good too. So I'm enjoying that game a lot and looking forward to see how it resolves with everything. And yeah, man, I'm excited for that and to eventually jump into the Yakuza series. And after that, see how it compares. So yeah,
Nice,
man,
nice.
that's it.
Yeah, as for me, just still going through Kana. I don't think I'm playing anything else. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I wanna eventually. I don't know. I've been weirdly just kind of like jumping back and forth between just like random things on my dashboard. Last night I just randomly started playing Hitman 3. Well, Hitman 1 in Hitman 3. Just like messing around in some of the levels that I haven't really played too much, and I think I might just kind of like, I don't know, do that a little bit more this week. I do eventually want to get to Hitman 2, but like, goddamn, I think that's like still pretty pricey, so like I might have to wait a little bit. But yeah, just probably just like same old, same old. I actually don't know, like, I think aside from Battlefield, like I don't know what like is on the horizon that like I'm looking at that's like, okay, yeah, that's like the next big game that I'm gonna be focusing on, because I think aside from Battlefield, I'm really interested in Solar Ash, but I don't know when that's coming out. Like, I feel like they gave a release date, but I don't know. I don't know when it
It
is.
says coming soon. I checked on the page. It
Okay,
just says coming soon. Yeah.
but it still says 2021.
Uh, Good question if it has a date, because it just said coming soon. I'll check if it has like an actual date. I'll let you know.
Okay, and this is kind of a tangent, but do you guys realize that like what's his name? Guardians of the Galaxy is like coming out like like what, in like a couple days?
Yup.
Isn't
They've
that
been doing hardcore marketing with that game.
no? But like, isn't I feel like no one is talking about this game.
Nope.
Like I feel like this thing just like literally just like, because it got revealed this year if I'm not mistaken. But then like I feel like just like the lead up to release has just been like non-existent, man. Like I feel like no one's really talking. Like I just feel like this came like snuck up on me. Like it's just dropping out of nowhere. I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but like I really feel like this has just like been like a quiet release.
I just feel like really, yeah. I feel like nobody cares,
Yeah.
honestly. Especially
Yeah.
after the deflation from Avengers, and the fact that I think one of the things that throw me off about the game is that you can only play as Peter Quill. I think that's a missed opportunity. Even if the combat actually like looks pretty enticing and it looks fun, it also looks like it gets old real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's similar to, contrary to Neo, because I remember Neo, the first Neo, it was very under the radar. Not a lot of people talked about it. They didn't really market it. But once people recognized it after a few months, it became like one of the most like popular, like talked about games in the moment. For this one, it just feels like it was talked about, but now it's like, yeah, whatever, you know? It They're like, oh, the potential, I wonder what, but then they found out, and now it's like, yeah, I mean, we'll see. There's not they went from full multiplayer to so restrictive. You know what I mean? Like in terms of people compared to Avengers and how, oh, maybe this one will be different because it's single player. No, you literally, how much it said, you're only restrained to Peter Quill, and it restricts you in that way. When I think that a lot of the beauty of Guardians is just having the opportunity to play as all the whole cast, because they're all so unique and different. But I don't know, who am I to, I don't know how development went. By the way, Solar Ash, it just says coming soon on the PlayStation page. It doesn't have a year.
I thought it comes out in December.
Does it have a set date? Let me check.
I have no idea. I honestly thought it was
yeah.
October.
Second. They said the 2nd.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I'll definitely be looking forward to that.
Yes, sir.
Again, this is a tangent, but going back to I probably will end the podcast soon. But going back to Uncharted really quick. Do you guys think that they will actually show? Because we didn't see Elena at all in that trailer. Do you think Elena is going to be in the movie? And then also there was Sam was mentioned a couple times. Do you think Sam is going to be in the movie as well?
I see more a probability of Sam appearing, but okay.
Yeah.
I see Sam appearing, but not form a part of the story. And Elena, I'm not worried about. But if they introduce her, I have a feeling like it won't be Elena. She'll have a different name, if that makes sense. It's like the equivalent of Elena will be someone else. Like,
Well, that'd be
they'll,
Chloe.
yeah, but no, but like they'll have like that reporter. They'll have the reporter that he meets and that he falls in love with, but it won't be Elena, if that makes any sense.
Bro, they're gonna add a third girl into this.
No, but
Nah,
like you
Nathan Drake
mentioned,
needs to pass his fuckboy phase,
but
and then he can meet Elena.
Okay.
and yeah, that's the thing, because Elena, I mean, in this case, if they're going a different approach, I don't know how different they're going with the story and whatnot, but maybe they go where he meets Chloe, great, but then he meets someone else that's previous to Elena, and then Elena's like later on. I don't know, because I don't know, do they have enough time to like make it where him and Elena like they have like a cohesive relationship in one movie? I don't know, because I feel like Elena's relationship with Drake built through the whole franchise so well. I don't know if they can do it in one movie.
I mean, that's why I don't think she's gonna be in this movie. This really feels like, sort of like a prequel to everything almost. Like, but at the same time, it does feel like a greatest hits because yeah, they are pulling stuff from everything. But just the fact that they are already establishing that Sam, is a real character, right from the beginning, I think is pretty cool. And obviously, Nate and Sully meeting from the first time. This does feel like a prequel. So like, if Elena was in this, I think it might be like an ending tease, but I don't think there's going to be like any real sort of like their relationship like starting in any meaningful way in this thing. I think the focus in terms of like, that sort of like romance or relationship or whatever, I think the focus is purely going to be Nate and Chloe meeting each other for the first time.
Yeah, more Uncharted 2 in that regard.
Yeah, for sure. And then probably, sequels will then focus on Elena.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Makes more sense like that.
yeah. All right. So that's gonna do it for the podcast. Thank you guys for checking out the pod. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate that. And we will be back next week, Saturday, same time, 10:30 a.m. Giving our thoughts on the state of play, and everything that did not happen during the state of play. So yeah, we will catch you guys then. Peace.